she's in Bama, of course, Alabama. So I hope I
I
say that
am
right.
not ashamed of. I am not ashamed of being a Californian. It's
Okay,
what I
but
am.
since you didn't have it on X and you just said USA, USA,
Oh, okay.
USA. I didn't know if you wanted to dox yourself or not. Yeah, she's out in California. You know, she's a Californian. I've been out. I was actually in my mother's womb out in California, and I was actually went back to California when I was like 3.5 years old in 1969.
You're old.
And loving it.
Good.
And Eric, you'll
And
get to
loving it.
see the
Yeah.
art in about 12 days, my friend.
Doc Blaylock's got a few months on me, you know, so he's older than I am. We were talking about Doc Blaylock before the show. He is one of the artists, not the artist, but one of the artists. I think the best story, I've said it all along, the Bog story, you know, in the book, which was done about 2.5 years ago, you know, approaching 3 years now. You know, we've been working on this project for a while, but we'll be
That
fulfilling.
doesn't seem like that long, but yeah, I guess it has, hasn't it?
It's been a while. Yeah. I mean, Hockey did story for me, you know, early on, Dirty Joe story. Yeah. You know,
Cool
just
stuff.
adding those
Hey,
back.
Edwin in the house.
Yeah. Well, I'm doing a magazine size now. Now, Flip
Cool.
City is a magazine, but it's a different magazine of a different type, right? It's not actually in print.
No. Hello.
Or
It
is
is
it?
in print since
It is in print.
2020. Yes,
Uh-huh.
yes.
Oh,
Who
Okay,
does not want the physical media? Look
Well,
at
spank
all
it
these.
and make it
Look at
cry.
all these. This is only a small portion of our
Okay.
print
oh, very cool.
publication.
And what's
Yeah,
the page count on these?
It has been holding steady at around 62 pages. Some might
Okay.
be a little bit less, some might be more. Our fattest one was volume 18, and I think that came in at like, hold on, let me see what page.
How many volumes are you on,
At
Christy?
80 pages.
How many have you put out?
So volume 23 is at print.
Wow.
Volume 24 should be printed, I think, the first week of April is what we've got
wow.
on the schedule.
Excellent.
Yeah,
Mad Magazine, Crazy, you know,
Correct.
of course, National Lampoon. I mean, it's a dying art. I mean, during the Nixon years, it was fervent ground for political satire, and that's basically what Flip City is about, right?
yes, we really do our best to not really describe ourselves as political satire.
Yeah.
Politics is in it, and of course we're doing cultural commentary, and because
Okay.
of the climate right now, everything is basically political.
Uh-huh.
Right. Yeah.
It's an appropriate way to describe it. It's just I don't like it because politics is fucking cringe, and
Yeah.
I think it makes people think of like political cartooning where everything's labeled and every other freaking political cartoon is like the old stupid trope of like marionettes. Like that's
Right.
not, like, we hate that shit. So that's kind of why we want to distance ourselves from being described that. However, it's appropriate enough.
Yeah. Well, now I like the cultural. How did you put that exactly?
Cultural commentary.
Cultural commentary.
there you
I
go.
like that. That works for me. That's sexy.
Yeah.
That's got
It is
legs to it, you know.
Oh, dude, I that is one of my favorite descriptors of Flip City. It is
Mhm.
fucking sexy. It is wonderful.
Mhm.
We're also I think something else that calling it political satire does is it puts
You
you
actually had to pop out for a second and do that.
Okay.
it puts you in a category of having to be on a side, and we don't take sides. You know, we're equal
Right.
opportunity offenders.
Okay. So, do you like if a Republican read it? Would a more conservative person would they be
We
offended by
lean
some of the?
we
Huh?
we lean
Or
we lean
are you trying to
conservative.
offend?
No, that is never well, I mean, it really depends. You know what? It depends
Yeah.
on if you can take a joke. It's basically
Well, right.
like F them
That's a
if they can't
lost
take a
art.
joke.
I mean,
Yeah.
you remember the Dean Art? You might not. You're so young, but
No.
Dean Martin uh, roast where they used to roast people, or
Oh yeah.
Don
I
Rickles used to,
love
I mean,
roasts.
tell Jewish jokes, and then about the
Yeah.
blacks. The blacks would tell, Flip Wilson, and just a bunch of different, Richard Pryor. I mean, it's
Hmm.
kind of went out of vogue, but I think it's going to come back because people need to learn how to. I mean, it's like burn the place down,
Yeah. No,
and
I think the comedians are doing a pretty good job again of being
mhm,
unapologetic.
okay,
A lot
yeah.
of them bent the knee, but I think
Oh,
it's
yeah.
I think it's snapping back, and you're seeing that a lot in comedy,
And I
in the
think if you
stand-up.
cut off the funding for some of these fake protesters, you'll see a lot less protesting. What year did you come out with your first volume? How long have you been doing this?
Yeah, so our very first physical print
Hey, Homer.
magazine that we got in our hands, we received that in April of 2020.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was like right when COVID hit.
Yeah.
And
Now, how was that? Because that had to be a bad time. How could people go out and get a copy?
well, we weren't distributed, I mean, we were doing e-commerce. We started with e-commerce. In fact, when we first launched, we weren't sure if we were going to do a physical magazine,
Hmm.
um, because of course you save so much money by doing digital only.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So we got really lucky and found a YouTuber that loved the idea, and we said, hey, will you talk about our magazine if we throw you a few bucks? And he did, and he had a very rabid audience, and it was basically like all the stars aligned with this guy, right? He
Hmm.
was super excited because we were the first ever people to approach him to sponsor him. We threw him a few bucks. He talked us up hardcore. His audience responded crazy. So what we had, it was a store. We had actually, we weren't even on Shopify yet. We had a different store. Anyway, we had a storefront, and we offered print and digital subscriptions. And it's like, let's run a test. Who's going to get digital? And it's priced lower than the print subscription. 95% of people bought the print subscription, and so that is what made us
Well, like you said,
decide to do
physical,
print.
baby. Do you want to
Yeah.
think about your significant other, or do you want them right there with you? It's, uh, physical's always got it. Do you ever open one up and just smell it?
Oh, every time that they come from the printer, like
Yeah.
I have a
We
I
have
have a
comic book sniffers around here. I'm just warning
yeah,
everybody.
no,
Yeah.
that ink
Hey, Mike.
smell. And
Yeah.
I was exposed shortly after
I was
starting to
exposed.
publish.
Good word. I was
I love
exposed
I
to it.
love that I did my normal ADD thing of starting, a sentence and then rethinking it.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh.
It's
No, that's
with
fine. I mean, that's a great way to put it. I was first exposed in a comic shop in 1966 or whatever,
Yeah.
It was like a
um
spider coming down, a radioactive spider coming down and biting me. It
well,
changed my life forever.
I'm sure you guys are familiar with the term ink on your fingers, right?
I never
Oh,
heard
sure.
of it.
Yeah.
You've never
Oh,
heard that?
shut up. No, no, I was making a joke, but anyway,
Oh.
yeah.
But I only learned, I had never heard it before until I started publishing, and I talked to who has now become my publishing consultant and good friend.
Mhm.
And he told me about the term ink on your fingers, and I'm like, I love that shit. So yeah, it
Yeah,
feels
yeah.
good. I smell my magazine every time that it
Back in
comes
the
from the
80s
printer.
and 70s, whatever, I mean, especially the 80s, you'd read them and you'd actually get some of that black ink on you while you read it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
It wasn't a clean hobby by any means.
Yeah.
Now I take it you collect comics as well. You
I
don't. Okay.
don't.
Okay.
That
All
is
right.
what makes kind of networking within Comicsgate and all the comics creators a little awkward personally for me, because
Uh-huh.
neither
You're a
me
freaking unicorn.
am I a unicorn? Yeah. Okay. I
Well,
I actually
unicorns are beautiful. They're
I
horny. I don't know.
Jesus, Rex.
I'm gonna have to get my husband in
Jeez.
here to protect me from you.
Okay, I'll just kick.
Oh,
Well, we got a
Okay,
moment. Hail, Omer Glitch, Bone, and Mike Walters. Hail, hail,
Yeah.
hail. Oh, and Trusty Sidekick. Hail, Trusty Sidekick.
which, by the way, I do want to give Omer Glitch a special, awesome Flip City shout out because we ran our very first collaboration contest thing, and he was the winner.
Ah, spectacular. Congrats, Omer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now people can get a free issue and read it right now. Tell them how they can do that.
I would say the easiest thing to do is just go to flipcitymag.com and click through to the free magazine. I make it very apparent on the homepage with flying buttons and stuff like that, like read for free. Just click that read for free button. It's going to take you to a flip book directly on our website. And marketing wise, I put a lot of stuff in there to direct you to our extended version. You'll get a free PDF emailed to you if you basically sign up. You sign your life away with Flip City and give us your email address so I can really shittily market to you.
Shittily. Okay. Good word. Yeah. Now, how long have you lived
Hail,
out in
Cricket
California?
All my life.
All your life. Okay. Yeah.
Yep, I'm a California girl.
My first
Yeah.
ex-wife was a dancer at Knott's Berry Farm when she was young.
Oh, I see your type now.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I got ringed and roped into that. No, it wasn't my type at all. But yeah, I wouldn't have minded that. Yeah, she done had her day when I met her, but you know, she wasn't 16 anymore or whatever. However old she was pretty young when she was a dancer out there. But yeah, she lived out in the Orange County area. But yeah, I remember California back 1969. It was a magical time and a magical place. And Orange, went to a friend of my grandmother's, and she had oranges growing right there by her trailer. It was a trailer park,
Dude, it is such a bummer, like the development of California, because that was something that was super awesome growing up in Southern California was all the orange groves. And they just keep tearing them all down, for development of like strip malls and all that bullshit. And it's heartbreaking, old orange groves. I mean, it's what Southern California is like. In fact, I feel a little competitive with the whole like Florida orange thing. I'm like, no, California is where the oranges are.
Well, you got that, and you got the I
all
don't know
good
if you've
stuff.
ever been called the Orange State, but yeah, I mean, you got the lemons and you got the nuts, and I don't know if you middle nuts, but
love avocado.
I mean, you're the breadbasket when it comes to nuts, although shutting off the water and they don't have water in drought times is really hurt things. And you got marijuana up north. I mean,
well, we got it everywhere, actually.
Yeah.
Right. Well, yeah, but I mean, they say the largest producer of marijuana is in Northern California in the world.
I did not know that. Thank you for the additional California trivia
Yeah,
there.
Humboldt County apparently is like really prime growing land for really good weed.
Shadowhawk worked at a medical marijuana place.
You did?
Yeah, I worked there for almost 3 years. I was the senior maintenance guy, taking care of all the packaging machines and all that stuff. So I got to work with the weed every day, see all the different strains, and smell it all. It's a great job.
and that's where the term get the sticky crystals on your fingers came from.
Oh yeah. I used to come out. There's a couple times. I mean, because we had super high security. Everything's insane security wise, cameras everywhere and all that stuff.
Kind of like
there was more than once
they
when I was doing maintenance on a machine, and I'd get home and find like in my pocket or like in about a cuff of my pants or something, there'd be a fucking nugget sitting there that fell out of the machine. I'm like, well, I'm not taking it back. I guess I gotta keep.
That is so funny. I have to tell you a funny anecdote that I was reminded of the other day. Gosh, maybe a decade ago, I took some child development classes,
Uh-huh.
maybe a couple decades ago. Anyway, and it was at a community college, whatever. And I went into class one day, sat there, I had a sweater on. I'm a big sweater fan. And then got up and left class and happened to look down to my right. And on my sweater, stuck to my sweater, I swear this long, was a big fat bud. I sat
Oh
in my
shit.
child development class the entire time with weed stuck to me. And I
Oh
was like,
god.
I wonder who saw that.
Wow.
You're
Now, how do you
developing
wear
very mellow
sweaters
children.
out in hot California?
What's that?
How do you wear hot sweaters all the time in California?
It's not always super hot out here. You know, we kind of have seasons. So, and
Mhm.
also that's the other thing, we're notoriously thin-blooded. So like it gets
Yeah.
maybe 65 degrees and we're like, "Oh my god, it's so cold."
Yeah. Yeah, I
Oh
guess
god.
so. Yeah, you become acclimated to nice weather all the time. Probably
Yeah.
your average is probably 72, would you
Yeah,
say?
that's pretty much, the early spring will be at about 72. Like for example, like right now I'm sitting in my kitchen with the sliding glass door open. It's probably 70 degrees and I'm wearing a sweater and I'm
Yeah.
perfect. Like I'm comfortable
Yeah.
Right.
now.
Well, you don't have the humidity. I guess that's the thing. It's a dry heat.
I guess so.
Like if it was down here, oh my God, it gets so muggy. It might as well be Louisiana with the crocodiles, you know.
I will never live east of the Rockies. Like
Yeah.
I'm just acclimated to West Coast. It's who I am. And unapologetically.
Snob.
It is why I love the rest of the world.
Discriminatory.
Yeah. Dude, I have a friend in Texas who I prefer to use a coffee press for my coffee, right? And that was a huge like thing for him to make fun of me for, like, oh, you're such a
Yeah.
snob with your coffee
With the
press in
little finger, just
California.
got it.
And I'm like, I just like it. Come on.
Does it seem to make a difference in the way the coffee tastes? I've never tried using the little press.
Oh yeah, it's fresh, right?
Okay, so I personally believe it does. I haven't used a drip machine in years, so I can't even really think of it. But I think what it does is it does not so there's not a filter, right? So you get more of the oils
Mm-hmm.
and
Oh,
stuff
okay.
like that. It just tastes
Okay.
stronger, and you can make a
I think
really,
it's the
really strong
difference in
pot.
going to Kroger to get your, or going to the seaside. I mean, it's fresher. It's straight from the
And you
bean,
don't
like you say.
and you don't get any kind of grounds or anything in there, even without a filter.
Well, it's a mesh filter, so
Oh,
it's
okay, I
not.
got you.
Yeah,
Right. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
but yes,
Interesting.
I
I might have to
I
try
do.
one then.
Basically, the bottom of the cup does end up getting a little
How many
muddy.
lumps do you prefer in your coffee?
Are you
No,
talking about sugar?
that's tea. No.
Oh.
Yeah. Are you one to dress up your coffee?
I'm a coffee. I am a milk and sugar person. I like it.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. My like Elsie, who's out there, Walter Danley, and my friend of over 40 years, 40 years, in the chat. He's like, let's go to the store. We'll go to Kroger or somewhere, and he'll get like a flavored, vanilla or caramel or creamers, to go with the
Yeah.
coffee.
My favorite in the world is Irish cream, but then I need bourbon. Yeah.
I add a little bit of lime. I actually,
I see.
that's right, Eric. I do add a spritz of lime juice to my coffee, and people think I'm weird.
Do you really?
I do, yeah. And
What
Carrie
does
tried
it
I've
it
never
do
heard
for
of
it?
She said it wasn't bad.
That's
Oh,
I
hey,
interesting.
we
can't
got
hardly drink coffee without the lime in it anymore.
hail to Tomby, or is it Toomey in the chat? I'm not sure. I think that's a new name for
I didn't
me.
even
Yeah,
see
Either
that
way.
person. Oh, okay. Hey.
Tombi.
Tomby.
Okay.
Oh,
Oh, you know
I'm
Tomby?
wondering, is that coming from because I'm streaming to my audience?
Probably. Yeah, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Hail
Would it
Tomby.
show up? I guess.
Oh, hail Tomby. Okay, good to meet you.
I don't know if it probably is coming from yours because I didn't see it when it came in, but I always like to wrench people. So if they come over here and watch, I'll give them a wrench.
I
But
know. I remember, I think the first time I discovered your channel and I came in and said hi, you gave me a wrench, and I'm like, wow, this guy's
yeah,
trusting.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I
exactly.
didn't know you then, so I'll take it away.
You're like, oh, you're a Californian, I see.
Yeah. Now you mentioned Shopify, and I'm seeing that very sexy, beautiful logo of Flip City on your cap there.
Isn't it
Is that something you
gorgeous?
got as merch up on
Yes.
at a site? Mhm.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, very cool.
So I mean, I really just send everybody to flipcitymag.com because everything's there. You can link through to our Shopify from there, all of our social media. Something that we're starting to build up and get more serious about is posting to Substack. So that's it's great because we basically have moved our entire mailing list over to Substack because we now don't have to like pay for emails. You'll just get notified through Substack for our posts and stuff like that. We give away a lot of content. We just want people to love us and then come and spend money with us, whether it's a hat or a magazine.
Well, I
Oh,
mean,
it's Vulcan Lives. Hello.
you've got to push that merch, push that brand all the time. Push. So
Yeah,
wow,
well,
you put out a lot of volumes. What is your goal? Monthly? Bi-monthly?
we're quarterly.
You're quarterly, and you've already done 23?
Yes, we've done 23. 24 is close to out the
Now,
door.
if I do the math, that's more than, well, I guess that's about on par.
Well, what's funny is actually, so what we did, we just killed it so hard in our first year, and that was quarterly, that we decided to start doing bi-monthly.
Okay.
And then Bidenomics hit, and we decided to go back to quarterly, being very apologetic to our already subscriber base, but also making the quarterly magazines thicker than our bi-monthly magazines were. So they're still getting the same amount of content. What do you see?
Since Rex is one of the funniest people on the YouTubes.
That's so
Live long
nice.
and prosper.
That's so nice, especially because Vulcan Lives comes to every one of my streams. So, I mean, I take that as a backhanded compliment.
Christy.
No way. He's like, Rex is much funnier than you, Christy, nanny.
Yeah,
yeah, I see Vulcan quite a bit over there at Doc's Coffee Shop, I think.
Yeah,
Vulcan, I swear, this is how I imagine Vulcan. He has like 6 monitors all running a different stream so he can be in all the chats. I think that's what he does.
It really took me several years to earn a reputation of being funny. It really did. It's like if I could just get it out there, people would think I'm funny, but it's only been recently that anybody's ever said I was funny.
Well, you did it. You hit the goal.
Yeah. I was actually the class clown. There's always a class clown in high school and in grade school or whatever. And I was always the class clown.
Now tell me, were you a class clown who also achieved academically, or did you suck at school?
I was above average. I mean, I had A's, B's, some C's. If I wasn't interested in it, I excelled in like science and other, human social studies and things like that. But math, average. I didn't suck at anything. I was an athlete. Ran track and played basketball, but I wasn't a great at any of it till I hit college, and then I found my sport, which was fencing. I enjoyed fencing. I actually won the tournament out there at the college.
Be careful, poke your eye out with that thing.
Yeah, definitely. There was actually the only professional fencing death was in the 1972 Olympics, where a Russian killed a Frenchman with his foil. It went through the face mask, through his eye socket to his brain, and killed him.
Oh, damn.
Yeah. That's the
Yeah,
only
I'm joking around.
fatality in professional fencing, but to this day, but it's one too
Wow.
many. I don't know how that happened, but
He must have had like a weak mesh spot or something on his
something.
mask.
I don't know. Just
Wow. That's crazy.
yeah. But yeah, I really enjoy fencing. I haven't done it since, so I would probably, I just kind of took to it like duck to water. I guess maybe all the playing around as a kid and imagining, be Errol Flynn or somebody kind of paid off. But
All those hours of being Conan in your head. Yeah.
that's right. Yeah. Or well, I'm a little old for He-Man, but yeah, he's got a sword
Yeah.
too. I have the power. Yeah.
Well, hey man.
Yes, you could be my Skeletor. Moss Man.
It's so
I
funny
like
because
Mothman.
I used to watch He-Man with my brother, but it was only because I loved Cringer.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And I didn't care about the rest of it.
Cringer the cat. Are you a cat lady?
I have a cat. I actually have 2 cats now, but I'm more of a dog person.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Your glasses are kind of retro 60s style. They're, that was
Yeah.
those I would call those cat glasses.
Yeah, little cat
They
eye
are.
going on there. Yeah.
They are. I actually bought them for my my kitty character who basically functions as the PR person for Flip City Magazine. And
can you do an Eartha Kitt Catwoman purr?
Oh, probably not. I don't even tell me what it sounds like and maybe I could.
Yeah. Batman 66, third season.
Yeah, she just rolled all her R's on everything to
Yeah.
Oh,
Well,
I
you do it,
could.
Shadowhawk. You know how she would do it.
Yeah, sometimes it comes out, sometimes it doesn't. But she would do the whole like perfect, stuff like that.
Perfect. Yeah. Roll those R's.
There you go. See? Yeah.
But I liked Julie Newmar. She'd sit there and lick herself.
Oh, Julie Newmar was awesome.
Oh, she was the ultimate Catwoman. Yeah.
It's funny. So Doc said, "Hey, I need a stinger for you." So I made a stinger, right, based on my kitty character, and I spent time on it, and I made it really cute. And I swear, he's only played it twice. Like I literally need to fly to Georgia and kick his ass.
Yeah, I'll hold him.
Like, okay,
well,
it's a plan.
There you go.
It's a plan. Yeah. Yeah, I'm waiting for him to have that barbecue he promised us with the first book. He said, I'll have a barbecue and invite everybody and you can, blah, blah, blah. And it never happened. But now the tornado came through and wiped his house out almost. Hey, Marcus.
Oh, hail, Marcus.
Hello.
And, yeah, Doc was, a couple of years back before he got really busy. He was here probably 2 or 3 times a week hanging out with us on the show. But, now he's hooked up with Anthony and he's too good for us now. So.
Is that what it is? So, I hooked up with Anthony too. So, should I not be here? Am I damaging my social media?
You're good, Kitty.
No. If you talk to Anthony, he knows me as well. Almost everybody knows me since I'm a huge backer. So
I see you all the freaking time. I don't even know. Have we ever spoken before, Shadowhawk? I feel like we have, but
I think we talked once on Pops' network when you were on there with Doc.
Okay.
I believe.
Okay.
Yeah, because you do.
Well, hello again, then.
You have a lot, or
nice
do you broadcast simulcast with Pops Madness Network?
Back when that was a thing.
Yeah.
Back when that was a thing. Okay.
Yeah.
But now I still see
he's not doing so much of that anymore.
I still see you over on the Madness Network, don't I?
Oh yeah. So something really cool happened over on the Madness Network that I will take personal credit for. I had it was me. It was me. I've heard I am the connector, and I really am. So I had Pops come on to my Creative Chaos show. And usually he was basically my one exception of not having somebody that actually does physical media come on. And my producer, Cosmic Grandpa, was very, very interested in what was happening over on the Madness. So they actually now are business partners, and Cosmic Grandpa made it so that it is now an LLC and all that. And things are starting to move forward towards the whole Roku thing. Sorry, I'm burping.
That's
the whole Roku thing and all that kind of stuff. So I'm excited for
Bring it
both
up
of
again,
them.
we'll vote on it.
What? Did you
Bring it up
insult
again,
me?
we'll vote on it.
What, my burp?
Yeah, your burp.
Okay. I can do way better. I was holding back.
Yeah, well, do the arm thing, you know.
Well, one of our jokes here at Flip City is the way we developed a patented writing style, and it goes like this: fart, fart, smart, 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 fart, smart.
Over.
Okay. All right. Now I need something from you, Christy. I need your YouTube link.
Oh.
Or if you've got a mod out there that can drop the YouTube link, that would be great.
Vulcan, if you can out there. Vulcan, if you can drop the link, I would be so appreciative, because I get super bumbly while live trying to look shit up. Vulcan.
Dirty looks when I
I end up kicking myself half the time when I'm trying.
Ow! 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 He's bruised all up, folks.
You don't want to see.
21 people watching, subtracting my own watch right now. We haven't went over 20 in a while. But sometimes Mondays are like that, you know.
No, it's because I'm here.
Of course, female representation, you know. You've got to have it. It's what
I have heard, and I've been told cleavage equals clicks, but I don't get the cleavage thing.
But you know, I mean, just being female, I think within this sphere is somewhat of an attraction. You know,
well, like you said,
it can be a mega attraction if you really sell it. You know,
I have on other streams, and it has absolutely worked. It equaled sales, and I've actually spoken to my husband about it, and I said, "What do you think? This much cleavage?" He's like, "Yeah, do that much cleavage," and he's totally fine with it.
Yeah,
hey. Man, we really, really do just want people to check out Flip City Magazine. And something that really shocked me. So like I said, we've been publishing for 5 years, and I've known about Comicsgate the entire time and have just kind of been watching. I've been like a spectator, right? And it scares me because of all the drama and all this. I'm like, I don't have time for drama. Like, I don't want to do this. So I just like held off. And then about a year ago, I'm like, you know what? We really need to start networking within Comicsgate. There are a lot of good, cool people there. And I'm so happy that I have, because everybody I've met has just been wonderful. Everybody's been so wonderful.
Yeah. Well,
I think a lot of those
to this point, yeah.
Well, you know,
the drama is overblown. And
I had her on once, folks. Once. After that, she never wanted to come back.
All right, Crooked Painter. I didn't know you noticed.
Yeah. So what kind of content are we talking about? And then how do you find all the cartoonists, if I can call them cartoonists, illustrators, whatever.
It is funny because, I pretty much, as a blanket term, call all of our artist contributors illustrators.
Thank you, sir.
But there are a good number of people that we've attracted that are cartoonists. And that I've discovered is an actual skill to be able to cartoon. It is much different than the illustrator.
Or to be a caricature artist, to do caricatures.
Yes.
A lot of the Mad Magazine people were spot on with that, but I've tried my hand at caricature. I have an artist that I worked with recently, Jay Kreger. Now, he's a portrait artist, among other things. He can do it all. And he can get that likeness. Shadowhawk was one of the people he drew, actually. And it was spot on. Now, that's a little different than the drawn in tier, like realistic, like he did, but he could do caricature, I'm sure. Um, yeah, the unfortunate thing is there's her YouTube channel, but since they're watching on your channel, I can't grab it.
You can't grab what?
I can't grab the link. I wanted to grab the link.
Do you want me to put it in
You,
private chat?
Yeah, if you would take
All
just
right,
a second to
I'll
put
do
it in
that.
private chat, I
Yep.
would mucho appreciato that. You might not understand that. Do you understand Spanish? Because I mean, you're out
Yes,
in
and you
California.
said it perfectly. Mucho appreciato. That's exactly how you
That
say it.
sounded very Italian. What the hell? We actually had an Italian, a full-blooded Italian, on last night, early this morning. Dana from New York. We talked pizza. You know what, the proper pizza and all kinds of stuff. Janet
New
from
Yorkers don't know
Planet
shit
came
about
in. It
pizza.
was a fun time. Go check out that draw stream that was earlier.
You want good
Hank
pizza?
Barrett was there.
Come
Hey,
to
Hank.
Chicago.
He says, "Ahoy, all you what is that?
Sagacious scallywags. Hail, Tank Bear.
Man, he
Nice
uses
word.
words that's not even in my lexicon. Lexicon?
I'm
He's got
thinking.
his word a day calendars, taped up right there
What's
by
the
his
name
desk.
of the channel? Cricket Painter says. What
Is
is
it
the
is
name
it
of the
because
channel?
like we're like a saga, like sagacious?
Sagacious. Okay.
Sagacious. I think that means you talk a lot.
Oh, here, look. I'll put it. I
I
forgot I
believe
have a
that's
rent, so I could put this here too. Right?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was gonna do it.
Okay, cool.
You beat me to it though.
I was like, are we going to look at our YouTube? Flip City Magazine, we've been around
It's a
so fucking
marvelous
long.
casserole, Marcus.
We have actual animations of Flip City content on our channel. So
Wow.
if you go into the video section,
you're not quite there yet, but you're approaching 200,000. I mean, 200,000. What is it? You get in front of this mic, and your mind says one thing, but your mouth says another. Like, instead of saying hello, it's like, I'd like to go to bed with you and do unspeakable things.
Sir, you're starting to annoy me. Is this the purpose of this show?
No,
to bring people on to annoy them?
No. Well, no. Yeah. But we'll poke fun at
sometimes.
I don't, it varies. It varies. Va-va-va-voom. It's good to see you in the house. Paul Monsky. You are correct, sir. 2 years in Chicago, and I put on 20 pounds from eating Gordano's. Yeah. A good pizza. I've had that.
Oh yeah, good stuff.
Giordano's.
Means
Eduardo.
shrewd and discerning, having good judgment.
Ah.
Thank you, Tank Ferret.
Thank you, Tank.
Wasn't that hard to find. Yeah, it wasn't that hard to find. I just didn't have it at my fingertips, you have to be prepared with these things, and I just didn't have the YouTube link at my fingertips. But all the other links are down in the description. Flip City Magazine. Let's take a look at that, just what you have on the site real quick. How about that?
Sure.
Which is from your YouTube, or no, that's your YouTube, isn't it?
There's our YouTube. Look, that's us live.
It says you're it says you're live, yeah.
Hey, look at
check
that.
your pulse.
What's YouTube recommending that you watch?
Your channel. How about
no,
that?
If you scroll down, you know where it says like for you.
Oh yeah, like next for you or something like that, or whatever the hell it is.
All right, I'll get it up there. Let's see.
Yeah, that's what she said.
Yeah. There we go.
Oh,
there we go.
Crooked Painter, JJ's. JJ's Pizza Shack. Oh, dude, that is the killer.
Has it got more than one place, or is it just like?
Yeah, it's a chain here in.
It's a chain. Okay.
The Hoosier State, and they have a pizza they call the kitchen sink, which is literally got everything on it you can imagine except for anchovies, which I'm still complaining about because I like anchovies. But yeah, if you can eat more than like 2 pieces of that, man, you are just stuffed.
Mm.
Oh, I like this flip through right there where it's showing the different covers you've had.
Thank you
Oh
so
yeah, cool.
much.
Mhm.
I like doing those.
Oh
Now,
yeah, that's
what
nice.
are you editor in chief? Are you the creator? I mean,
No, so basically the way between me and Scott that we've decided to like um divide our labor. Scott pretty
now who is
much
Scott?
Scott is my husband and the mad mind
I
behind
love
Flip City
cooking.
Magazine. So he
Okay.
pretty much puts the entire thing together and I market it. And do customer service. So he doesn't have to deal. Basically, it's perfect because I'm a little egregious. No, not egregious. Gregorious. I can't think of the freaking word. Gregarious, that's the word. I'm a little
Yeah.
gregarious and I like people and I like networking and all that kind of
Mhm.
stuff. So we used our skill sets to do the things that we could do to make sure that we can keep publishing Flip City. He is multi-talented. He can animate, illustrate, and
Wow.
is a wonderful, like, I didn't, when we started Flip City, I didn't realize how great of a writer he is. He he is a fantastic writer. So it works for us, you know. I'm the one out there pounding the pavement, finding the people that are going to pay attention to what we're doing, and he makes it all happen. And then, you know,
Nice.
some of the stuff like overlaps, like actually getting it printed and distributed. We
So
both
you do a
work
lot
on
of the
that.
business side.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, I
And
do.
promotion.
Yeah, he pretty much handles the money, which is fine with me,
Mhm.
because you know, especially since Bidenomics, like we've been on a shoestring. So, and
Yeah.
that I was happy to like not even know, like I can turn a blind eye to our financials, and he just makes sure that you know, we have enough to be able to continue publishing and distributing, and um we work really, really, really fucking hard. I mean, basically, Flip City Magazine's our entire life. I call it our paper baby because it takes all of our time, attention, and money. And we think it's the cutest thing in the entire world.
Aw.
I wish I could remember from early this morning, late last night, what Dana
Excuse
said eggs were up in New York. It was an incredible amount. I mean, I want to say $17 a dozen.
For a
I don't know.
dozen?
I don't know. It's like almost $6 here right now. Now it does fluctuate, you know, and it's not like I'm going to different stores and checking prices, but
me. And you do
usually,
realize why that happened,
well, they're kind of
right?
gouging, right?
No, well, right before Biden left office, just like he was trying to stash a bunch of money and do some other shit,
Hmm.
he ordered 100 million chickens throughout the United States to be destroyed because of possible avian flu. They didn't even
Wow.
have to have it. They
Hmm.
just, if you have one chicken out of 100,000 of them that's sick, they make you
ten
burn all
dollars a dozen.
100,000 of them.
$10 a
So
dozen. That's
yeah,
still too much.
so I mean that was a purposeful move so that they had, and you notice all the news stations are pounding. Oh, the egg prices! Trump isn't doing anything for the economy. Oh, look at the eggs. That was set up by Biden before he left office.
What do you think, Christy, out there in California, the demographic is? I mean, we hear that there's a lot of Republicans. Of course, a lot I think got up and left after the pandemic craziness. But now I think is some red. I mean, I was really frustrated that you couldn't get
Thanks,
Newsom
Eric. I'll
out.
be
That it
back.
was so rigged and stacked deck. I mean, even the person that was, uh, you know, running against him and had a potential to actually overthrow him was kind of hamstringed by the rules. They've kind of made it where they can't lose. I hate that.
Are you talking about Gavin Newsom and
Yeah, when
his
they tried
recall?
to oust him out of office.
Yeah, he got recalled and then immediately reelected. I call major bullshit, all corruption, you
Hmm.
know, and Larry Elder, I believe was probably the front running you know, Republican candidate. He Do you know who Larry Elder is, by the way? Because I
Mm,
think So basically he's a political, commentator, and like
When
he has a
Newsom
name.
is Nancy Pelosi's nephew, isn't she? Something
Yes.
related to Nancy
Yeah.
Pelosi. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
And we
Yes,
know
he's
she's a bag of, whatever, excrement.
yeah, she's a bag of fallen out dentures.
She totally. Now, don't hate on dentures. We got people out in the chat that have dentures.
Yeah, but you
uh,
know what? You probably use your polydent and it doesn't
hey,
get all like gummed up by all your consumption
exactly.
of vodka.
Yeah. Yeah. She said $10 a dozen. Thank you, Omer. $10 a dozen. Still, that's way. I refuse to pay it. I boycott it. I'll never buy another egg again at that price, or even at $6. Hell with it. I can live without eggs.
Or
Sorry.
get your own chickens.
But that affects things. Right, exactly. Get your own chickens. When I kid you not, Christy, when I went to every time I go to the post office, I hear pee pee pee, people shipping chicks around
Uh-huh.
here. Of course, we're more agricultural, and I don't know what, it's just wild that they actually ship those through the mail. But
I
you
know,
gotta,
that's kind of surprising.
yeah, yeah, livestock through the mail.
It is what it is. But
I
yeah,
wonder.
California is absolutely corrupt. It's quite clear. I mean, if that recall and then immediate reelection doesn't prove it, I don't know what would.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know, besides actual data.
Well, I mean, they were talking about on national news, that the guy running against him was kind of hamstringed with this, with what he could do. But while Newsom could do just about anything he wanted, without restriction, but there were actually legal on the books restrictions on his opponent in that situation. So I don't know all the details about that, but it seemed
Yeah,
disingenuous to me.
and I forget. I mean, they fuck us over so often that it's hard to keep track. But yeah, I think there was shenanigans happening with the whole Larry Elder thing, and that's the other thing too. You know how the media loves to take those black conservatives and basically call them the black face of white supremacy, and just
Mhm.
gaslight all the brain dead liberals into believing whatever the media says and say, oh yes, he is the black face of white supremacy. I'm not
Now,
going
do
to
you
vote for
touch
him.
upon racism? Because I think the Democrat Party has always been the party of the KKK, Jim Crow, civil rights, but then what they enacted kept the black man down, black woman down for 50 years, up to
It's
this
a
point, I think.
Yeah,
You know,
well, it's a definite
and why
theme
they can't
in
see that is, maybe good PR on the supremacy side. I don't know, but it's amazing that they have so many of the black population in their camp when really they're the party of keeping them hamstrung
I'm
within society.
telling you. Well, that's the thing. Like once the the
Prove me wrong.
tipping point, once I hold a thought that once the tipping point of the black population realize that they're still enslaved mentally,
Hmm.
and shed those shackles, things will absolutely change.
I think the
It
average American, before they're stirred up during the Obama years, and even before that, is can we just live in, I mean, segregation and all that, that's just all a bad part of history, yes, but let's move on. And I think most people just want to live together,
Yeah, I
in harmony.
absolutely agree. Well, so I came of age in the 90s, right? And
I'm
living
sorry for your
in
loss.
no, it's fun. It was really awesome. The 90s were freaking awesome,
You are
especially
young,
uh yeah, I guess young enough at least,
young
and
enough. Okay.
old enough to know better, but
Yeah.
That's
like
right.
I
living in Southern
never,
California, through the 90s, like race relations were fucking awesome. I could fuck around and be like funny racist to like black people, and they could be funny racist to me, and nobody took offense, and we all laughed together and all that shit. And fucking Obama destroyed that,
Oh yeah,
you
yeah.
know.
Oh, I mean, I hadn't
Yeah.
seen, and I grew up, around Gary, Indiana. All this it, racial tensions have been, back and forth in this area many times. Um, but yeah, in the '90s, before Obama got in there, I had never seen such harmony. Everybody was getting along, and then the guy that's supposed to unite the nation, 6 months after he's in office, everybody hates each other. It's like,
Yeah, people elected him, hoping, a lot of people that he be the great uniter, but he was the great.
mm,
He didn't unify anything. He just
oh no,
deunified everything.
it was not his objective to unify anything.
Exactly,
He
and I
did
knew
he
that
did
with him
exactly
going
what
in
he
there.
wanted.
I can't believe this, and I agree. I agreed with Trump on this that it should have been proven without a doubt that he was eligible to run for president.
Yeah,
Let's see not a digital version of it, but maybe he needs to go in there and change that, and then also that they be proven physically and mentally fit to take office.
yeah,
Because that's been an issue. Biden should have never been able to take office just because of his mental state of mind.
yeah.
Which
Yeah.
And they all knew it, and they
with
lied to us about it.
Jello pudding pop, blah.
Well, I heard a rumor that Obama smells like sulfur.
Well, what about Mike?
I heard Mike's a man, so I mean, I don't know.
Yeah, Mike the man, yeah.
Mohap.
Yeah.
I mean, and if Mike's not a man, then he ought to be in the Guinness Book of World Records for the biggest clitoris I've ever seen.
Hashtag justice for Joan Rivers. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah,
I mean, I would assume a good amount, at least you two, if not a good amount of the chat, has seen the Ellen clip with Big Mike dancing with the flopping wiener. You've seen that.
I've seen that. Yeah, I've just not played it on here. Yeah. I'm not brave enough. I don't want to look at that anyway. But it's like if you mention Clinton, you might as well be that little crab. He goes because there are more skeletons in the Clintons, backyard.
Dude, I'll tell you what, man.
Even find Hoffa back there.
You want to hang out with the Clintons, you may end up dead.
Yeah, you'll just disappear, as my little daughter used to say, disappear.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah. She couldn't say Christian, so she would say Christian. And after all these years, like she's 4 years old, one time she flipped me off when she was 4 years old. She looked like this. And then just slowly. Like, what the? Who taught you that?
You did, Dad.
I learned it by watching you.
No. It wasn't me, I assure you.
When
we
you're
have
driving.
a trailer here. Should I play it?
What do you got?
Right there on your flip.
Sure.
Side. Okay. I didn't know
Yeah,
how long it
bad boy.
was, how boring, or how exciting.
City is honestly funny. I mean, it's much funnier than Mad Magazine or Cracked because there's.
Wow! Bruce looks like Sergio Aragonés. I met him, and he really does. He looks like Sergio, from Mad Magazine and Funniest Home Video. It's really wild how closely they look like each other. Wow.
There's a bite to the humor. It's not all those cartoons are great, but some of the articles I read have been a real stitch. They're intellectual. They appeal to discerning people. It's not sarcasm, it's satire. And I urge you to subscribe to Flip City.
Flip City Magazine is just really pulling out all the stops, man. Your guys' production value of this magazine has gone insane. I mean, look at that.
I forgot you guys got
a black and white. Even when it was black and white, I thought your quality was great. But damn, they just really stepping it up a notch. Look at this. James Corbett, boys. James Corbett.
I love Flip City. It has brought new types of badassery and integrity to the print medium. I hope everybody goes out and supports you guys and is part of the fun.
Several copies of different issues of their magazine to me, and I've been perusing them recently. As I say, genuinely satirical, genuinely cutting, but also funny, and obviously just chaotic and very fun. For example, Flip City issue 7 features McCommunism, over 100 million starved, extreme Kiraning, and sexy Fauci centerfold, and it delivers on everything it promises, including, well, I don't know about the sexy part, but there's the Fauci centerfold.
Thank you, Tank Ferret. I agree. It is great.
Yeah, very, very cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Now, do you have something going on with Fun My Comic?
At this very moment, we do not.
Okay.
But here's part of my struggles. My poor me, feel bad for Christy. So I had said, like, near the beginning of the stream that we've been dipping our toe into the crowdfunding scene, and we're not. I'm learning how to fucking do it, right? And I sit back and I study what a lot of people are doing, and realize that a ton of people do like really long buildups and hype and all that before doing anything. And I think since the beginning of Flip City have been very much throw shit and see what sticks. And I think I'll continue that with the crowdfunding. In fact, I was supposed to have a campaign running right now, and we just could not make it happen because we're still waiting on certain things. And, you have to make the campaign and it takes time. And so I'm still in the process of creating the campaign. We don't have the cover art yet for it, but I'm like, we're kind of oh wait, I'm sorry. I just heard my husband say we do. So anyway, I think we're going to probably launch in about a week, but I don't think Flip City will ever have any kind of like lead up hype. We're just going to launch and go on as many streams as possible and talk about it on social media, and hopefully, gain more backers and people that, want to see what we're all about. Because that was the other thing too. We were going to always just kind of self-publish and stay away from crowdfunding as kind of like a point of pride. And then about 2 years ago, I realized we were being retarded. It's like, no, there's a certain segment of audience that wants to back publicly. And I'm like, why would I poop on that audience? So yeah, I realized, a couple of years ago that, we should jump into the crowdfunding. And something else, like an added bonus that I didn't even really think of until it started happening, was networking. Because we've been kind of fucking lonely, just kind of like in our little corner of the universe publishing. And I'm like, oh, there's this entire group of people that could like feel my pain, that I can just be friends with. And so it's been really cool. And we'd like to just grow within the crowdfunding scene and learn more and grab more backers and be happy.
Definitely. I would say, yeah, even give yourself more than a month for a mailing list. I think you can do up to 6 months without having to renew it, at least over on Indiegogo now. I don't think it probably matters over on Fund My Comic. He kind of recommends MailChimp, but you can go with whatever. And you don't necessarily, if you get out there and network, I don't think you I think the mailing list becomes less and less important. I think I kind of proved that with my book. I mean, we got over 100 signups in like 3 days. So, or
Wow.
maybe 2 days. Maybe it was 2 days. We got 60 the first time. I think it took us 3 days to
Yeah, I
hit
think it
over
was
100. Yeah, but I really networked. I let people know it's up, would you please sign up? And I think the majority of those people did back the book. So eventually, um,
Yeah, you gotta get out there and get
but
your
yeah,
stuff
a
out there for
longer
people to see.
mail up helps. I think, unless you, like you say, have really been building up some steam for that for a while, talking about it for a while and whatnot. And I'm
Mhm.
just impressed, you're on your 23rd issue, uh, gone to
24.
print. And so when you get all the proofs in and everything, and stuff sent off, what's the turnaround time once you send it to the printers? How quickly does it get back to you, all boxed up and ready to distribute?
Yeah. So,
Hey, Doc.
yeah. So it's about, I like to put it in terms of from when it goes to the printer to when we're actually like getting our entire shipment out. Because I think that's something else that I've learned just through networking in the indie comic space is we're a bit different. Like I have a bulk mailing permit through the USPS because we have those numbers to be able to
Okay.
get those discounted rates and everything. We don't
Hmm.
do any kind of special packaging or anything. Like you're not going to get a Gemini mailer from Flip City. It comes in an envelope. It comes in a brown envelope. So the postal worker will think you're just getting your titty magazine, but no, it's Flip
Yeah.
City.
Yeah.
So the way I think of it is from when we put in the order to when people are getting them in their mailboxes is about 6 weeks because we do all of our own shipping and we do it all in bulk all at once. And it's
Do
because we
you
have a
have a
subscriber
mailing
list.
list going? Omer says
Oh yeah, like
he's asking.
I've been collecting emails since we started. My email list is over 10K right now. And
Oh wow.
yeah, that's the thing though. Like I need to
That's
figure out
massive.
how to segment out people that specifically want to know when we're crowdfunding, so that I can tailor my messages to those
Right.
people that like to back crowdfunded projects. And I just don't have that set up yet. But I've learned, we've been doing it for 5 years. And a couple of things that I didn't anticipate when we started was number one, that I was going to have a nonstop course in marketing. Like I've learned a ton about digital marketing. And number two, that I'd become a magazine salesperson. Like, duh, you know, I didn't think of it.
Well,
But
Right.
I didn't think. I'm glad somebody's out there doing this type of thing. I was unaware till a few months ago that you existed and that you were doing this, and because I thought, well, back in the Nixon era and the fervent time, with civil rights in the 60s and the Vietnam War and the assassination and different things like that, there was a lot to talk about. And it seems like society's kind of become homogenous and kind of bland,
you
kind of
know,
consumerism. But, Trump's kind of stirred the pot on that, I guess. And there are, I guess if you take the right slant at it, like you're doing, there is something to say
so
within.
I want to bring something up because we're happily compared to Mad and Cracked, right? That's
I
what
sent
we
you a
are.
link, Doc.
We're the
I was gonna say, by
so
the way,
Doc,
Doc
yeah,
is the
come join us if you want. I'd love to
I
have
sent
you
it to
on.
you.
By the way, Doc's a huge fan. Anyway, but
He's just huge.
something that I always go back to when thinking of our comparison to like Mad and Cracked and everything is yes, we are, but times are different, right? So For example, if we're making fun of wokeness or, leftist ideology or anything, it literally is something that like leftists or woke practitioners want to cancel or even necessary, like dox us for or something like that. Like real get very, very savage, right?
Yeah.
But if you think of when Mad was publishing, they were savage against they were savage with the hippies, but hippies fucking loved Mad. That's how big of a cultural shift there's been. Like, there's no sense of humor anymore, and that's why we
Yeah,
were like,
hippies
this
could
is
take a
important.
joke.
Yes,
Yeah.
but wokies cannot.
Hi,
Yeah, big
Rex.
joke.
Hey, old Shadowhawk.
Hey,
Hi,
guys.
Christy.
He's.
My
I think
friend
it's funny.
Jock.
He was asking for the link, and I sent it to him like 5 minutes. See,
5 years
What
ago.
the hell?
He sent it 5 years ago.
It's an old link by now. Yeah.
Doc's been backstage
Christy.
waiting all this time.
Christy, I'm going to ask the important questions here because they don't know how to do that.
I know, obviously. I'm like, you guys are not
Thank you
like
for
taking
visiting.
advantage of how awesome I am. Stop. Let him back. He's my friend.
Okay. All right.
Here's the hard-hitting question. Christy, why do you never stream from the same location twice?
Oh, yes. Well, it's because
Witness
we're constantly on the
protection
move.
program.
Exactly. We're constantly on the move, so people don't know where we are.
That's thinking. See, she's thinking all the time. Now, Christy, you are the publisher of Flip City Magazine, which is hands down the coolest fucking satire mag of all time.
I agree.
Better than Mad, better than Cracked, because there are no punches pulled whatsoever. And I gotta say, I'm going to disagree with my good friend Rex just a little bit. I don't think society's homogenous. I think we're so divided right now that you can poke fun at either side and sit back and laugh about the repercussions of it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
I can see that,
100%.
Doc. But I mean, I think society has become. I mean, during the '60s, early '70s, whatever. I mean, it was a cultural happening, and I don't think it went the way the hippies wanted it to go. And there's
hell no, the hippies are Republicans now.
Yeah, they turned into yippies, and then.
Well,
you think they turned into Republicans? I don't know about that. I mean,
I think it's probably evenly divided. You're either a Republican or you're a loony leftist.
Listen, I know a lot of former hippies, and I mean card carrying, we marched for it, baby hippies. And they don't like the government telling them what to do. And that, my friend, is the left today. So they ran the opposite direction. We are the counterculture.
I think most Americans, though, not all, but most Americans, the majority maybe, wants less intrusive government in their life. Just leave me alone to do my own thing.
Yes.
Yeah. It's enough that I had to pull this rock up to build this pyramid here, in everyday life, grind,
Yeah, living the traditional life is the new counterculture, right, Vulcan?
Yeah.
Hey, Tank Ferret, what's up, buddy?
Yeah, it absolutely is. And you know what? I'm super duper excited because I feel like I raised my daughter right. She's got the most based boyfriend, and I've talked to him. I'm like, you want babies, right? He's like, yeah. And my daughter, and I kind of blame it a little bit on her being lazy, and she thinks it'd be easy, but she wants to be a stay-at-home wife. To be able to raise kids, keep the house clean, and then do fun projects.
She needs to shave half her hair and divorce her husband. And
she's a rebel. She's a rebel.
She is.
Yeah.
She is. She
I
got
love
one. She got
Next
one
thing you
tattoo,
know-
and I think that's it.
next thing you know, they'll be holding Tupperware parties over there. Don't do it.
It'll be madness, I tell you, madness. Hey, listen, you can be no more rebellious against the modern culture than to be traditional. Just be traditional. What's up, Salty? But Christy, what's going on? Are you funding right now? Something?
No. So I was just talking about that, and the fact that we should have had a campaign going by now, but you know, we just didn't have everything ready. I think I'll be launching within the next week. I still don't have any kind of like launch stream planned, but I also said Flip City from the beginning has been throw shit, see what sticks. And so we're staying on that track. We're bootstrapping a campaign here. Probably it'll be live within next month. And we're always, just so everybody knows, we will always only be on Fund My Comic. That is the only fucking platform we will ever use, ever. And I don't give a shit about any kind of people that want to like downplay what Fund My Comic is. Like I'm a fucking I'm an idealistic bitch, right? Like if we want the counter culture, did he kick me? Did he kick me?
No.
Okay.
No.
If we want the
I just said, tell us what you really feel.
yeah, but if we want it, yeah. Thanks, Salty. I'll probably never get it together. You know, I'm ADD as fuck. Anyway, so if we want the counterculture to like really kind of become the new pop culture, we need to support the things that are indie. So it breaks my heart when I see indies like really downplaying what Fund My Comic has going on. So
Absolutely
we're 100% on board with Luke Stone. He was probably our first ever backer because, of course, we launched on Fund My Comic, and he's like, "Oh, I'm going to get this," and has been so kind, saying really nice things about Flip City. And I fucking love Luke. I love Luke. I will always support what he's doing. Yeah,
great guy. And Fund My Comic is a great site and a great product.
But other than that, why should people support wholeheartedly good projects over there on Fund My Comic?
Well, I mean, same thing. Like I just said, I believe we are building up the parallel economy and culture all together as a group of independent publishers, loosely affiliated through things like Fund My Comic or Comicsgate or things like that. Like fucking go buy as much as you possibly can if you want to like give the middle finger to the big two and all that shit. You know?
Baby. I'm all about giving the finger to the big
and a lot of channels say that.
They aren't giving us anything we want anyway. So I mean,
cut down on the fucking drama. That's my other piece of advice. Like
it's so weird though, Christy. Think about it. You know, you're anti-drama, as am I, and I think Rex and Shadowhawk agree. We're not drama farmers. But you you create a satire magazine that just screams, bring the drama.
Oh, yeah. You know, oh my God. Do you know what's also hilarious about me and Scott being the publishers of this? Both of us are so non-confrontational. It's almost like our all of that repressed like anti-drama and anti-conflict, it just comes spilling out on the page. You know, it's like, okay, this is the outlet.
Absolutely. And that's, I love that. Now, we'll have to talk about your upcoming launch. We have a mutual friend who is more than willing. I didn't get a chance to talk to you this week because, well, last week we didn't stream. Those you don't know, Tanner was in the hospital. My co-host.
But he's out now.
Yeah, he's out now.
Shit. Why? What happened to Tanner?
He was having some issues that he had to get looked at, and that's his story to tell. I'm just going to say this. I'm going to just hook up some defibrillator paddles to him. And, you know, if he starts to go out on me during the show, I'll just I'll give him a thump and we'll just keep right on going.
Well, I hope Tanner's feeling better, man. He's a hell of a guy.
He's a great guy. He is. Hey, Omer, what's up, buddy?
Well, I always say be the entertainment that you want to see produced. You know, if you can't, like, for my, you know, if I can't find the comics from Marvel or DC or even, you know, the independents that are out there, maybe Image or Dark Horse or whatever the moniker might be, you know, then I have to produce it myself. Where does Flip City, because it's different than a comic book, yet it's, you know, you probably got comic book humor in there. I mean, there was Super Duper Man in Mad Magazine. If the new Michael Keaton movie was coming out, they would have a Michael Keaton Batman cover, with
Right.
their
Christy, I'm gonna tell on you two, Rex.
Oh hell. Okay.
We were reviewing comic book movies on the channel, and Christy goes, we're backstage, and she says, "Yeah, you guys know all the lore on this stuff. I don't know shit about any of this."
So yeah, it's actually kind of pissed me off. The last two streams we were on, you guys are going on and on about comic book movies, and I'm like, like, why are we talking about this? And I just have to say, I don't know if you highlighted this comment, but for some reason, Salty says that I make him want to be gay, like he wants to smoke fags. I don't get it.
It's just a thing.
Carol.
Hey, Carol.
Hi, Carol.
You horrible wench.
But yeah, no. Flip City is a comic satire magazine, so you get a lot of comics in it. It's just not like long form. I think the longest parody we've run was 8 pages, and however we do have serial comic series, so you'll get continuous stories from different pieces.
What is kind of your moniker, your manifesto, your objective with the magazine? Is it to push back on the culture, or to get them to critically think, which I think is a lost art with a lot of young people?
So I actually have a mission statement. I don't have it up in front of me, but our tagline is America's Last Laugh, right? So that works for us, along with always publishing an American flag on it. So, we're all American. It says America's Last Laugh on every magazine. But part of our mission statement is to basically target and mock and ridicule woke practitioners. Wokeism. That I think we're going to update our mission statement because woke's on its way out. But really, it's about making America laugh again, because we've been living in a humorless age for way too long. Yeah,
Mala, you need hats now. Christy, come on, you just burnt the hat.
I hope
Flip City, make America laugh again.
I can't believe we've never published that on anything except for our mission statement.
The public consciousness is so fast paced today. It like moves on to the next thing. And I'm afraid that we're going to forget the Biden years, the Obama years, and things like that. The atrocities, the impeachable atrocities that were like freedom of speech. Like right after Biden won, he's like coming out nationally the next day saying it was the freest and fair election, and you can't say that it was stolen. And you couldn't.
And if you do, we'll censor you.
Yeah. Oh, we'll come after you. We'll jail you. Whoa. Okay. Sig how? Damn.
I mean, don't go over to Europe and tell them that they're drifting away from the values that used to unite us, like free speech, and then get told by commentators that, there's more free speech in Europe than there is in the U.S. on the same day that the same network went along with the German police conducting raids on people for posting shit on the internet. One guy's arrested for calling a fat politician fat.
Yeah,
what's up,
crazy.
Ben? Hey,
There's
so
people
Ben
in,
obviously, I'm sorry, I have to do this major shout out. Ben Sullivan is the Flip City Magazine lead parody artist, and I'm just going to show you.
He's good.
He is fucking fantastic. So this is House of the Elon, where we team up Elon Musk and Javier Milei. I just want to show you one more little panel here because it cracks me up. So there's Javier Milei, and that's Ben Sullivan's work.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
He is our brother from down under. So
Ben, you
Now,
are a rock star, bro. I love your stuff.
Nice,
yeah,
now,
Ben.
we
Christy,
love
do
Ben.
you have like one standard colorist that does the whole issue, or do like
No,
you have colorists work on different stories within it or whatever, right?
no. So that's another way. That's so I've the amount of stuff that I have learned about the comic book industry, like just by networking in this last year, we're fucked up, like compared to how all you guys do it. Ben sends us everything finished. Some people will submit a black and white, and we're like, we're gonna color this. I don't think ever have we received pencils and then went and got an inker and then went and got a colorist and then went and got a letterer. I'm like, what the fuck is all this? That seems like a lot of mess to me. Like I've like had a crash course in how comics are made, like by
That's cool.
following Comicsgate.
So,
And
what
you know,
does the
in spite of
current
not
issue?
knowing all that, you've been cranking out this great stuff.
Yeah,
Yes,
what
I
does
mean,
the current issue have in it? Like issue 23 that's at the printers now. What can we expect?
all
Or is
right.
that
So
spoilers?
issue 23, the lead parody is Joker, spelled Joaqer. Joker.
Okay.
Because Joaquin, oh man, I
Right.
wish
Yeah.
I had,
Joaquin Phoenix.
I don't have that in print right now, but
Mhm.
dude, okay. So it is a musical, but all the lyrics are rewritten. So for example, in the movie they did What the World Needs Now, right? What the world needs now is love, sweet love. But we changed it to What the world needs now are guns, more guns. It's the
There you go.
only thing. Something about Muslims, you know. And we do not like Lady Gaga, right? And
Mhm.
so
Hey,
Scott
Katie.
told Ben, make Lady Gaga really disgusting, and she is disgusting. Actually, if anybody wants to see those characters, go to Fund My Comic and look at the Flip City Volume 23 because you'll see the Lady Gaga character. Freaking hilarious. She is so ugly. And in every panel where you see her whole body, she has panties down around her ankle. And that's all Ben Sullivan. Like, he's just funny.
So, did you read Crack and Mad magazines and things and National Lampoon growing up?
Yes.
Was it even available?
So yes, if there was anybody that was prepared to write the comic satire for today, it is Scott McKenzie, my husband, the mad mind, like I say, behind Flip City, because he would get those magazines and study them. Like
Mm-hmm.
he absolutely studied them for his entire life to be able, not that his plan was to do what we're doing, but he just knows the format and he knows the feeling. And of course, we're not mad. We're not cracked. We're not National Lampoons. We're Flip City Magazine. It has our own flavor and it's
Right.
made for today. Because we have had that kind. We're cool with criticism. That's fine. But we've had that kind of feedback come through every once in a while. It's like, oh, I was expecting more mad. And it's like, well, it's Flip City. Or I was expecting this to be more like National Lampoons. And it's like, well, it's Flip City. Like you have to love us for who we are. And
Yes.
and we'd love for you to stick around and find out what else is going to come down the pipe. But you know, some people
Well, I
leave.
have
That's
an
fine.
I have an ideal. You could take out like occasionally Mad Magazine would do an annual or something like that. You could do a special issue where you actually riff on Mad Magazine or Cracked and other satire books. You could do that probably. I don't know.
It's
Alfred E.
true. I
Newman.
don't think we
Newman
have.
knocking on your door saying, "Can I come play with Flip City?"
Seriously.
Hey, Kate. Kate and Orlando in the house. Hi, Kate.
Kate, what happened to Shadowhawk? Did he like lose internet or something?
His internet's being
All right.
so he's gonna stay out in the chat there. But
Relegated to the slums.
Poor Tank.
Why? What happened to Tank?
Yeah, why poor Tank?
Tank is saying, Doc got the link, but not me. What am I? I'll just stay over here and eat worms.
Aw.
Okay.
There's a comedy song called No, it goes like this. Nobody likes me, everybody hates me. I'm gonna eat worms.
Yeah, I think that's what he's
Do you remember
quoting.
that? Yeah.
That probably he knows all that obscure stuff. Doc, you never told me that Bruce, her husband, looked like Sergio Aragonés.
That's not
That's
her
not
husband.
my husband.
Oh, it's not
That's-
your husband.
That's
No.
my sidekick on my show.
Your psychic. Okay. Well, he telling me looks like Sergio. I mean, he really does. He does. I met Sergio back in, I guess it was either
What's up, Gary?
85 or 86, but one of those years.
Hey, Carrie.
He's got the beard and the mustache, and
Rex spins the wheel and says, "I'd like to buy a clue, please, about what the conversation is
I haven't
about."
got a clue. So, if I only had a brain. Hey, Carrie, I think Carrie sent us over 30 viewers. So, we must be doing something right today.
Well, I'm here. Christy's here.
Thank you, Christy.
Nice.
So you got Doc's coffee shop in the house. What's up?
Well, Doc, you probably brought Carol in, so I got to give it to you for that.
I let her out of the basement. She ran wild for a while. She's kind of gone feral.
Well, that's what the tranquilizing darts are for, and the medication. Keeps
Hey,
them
Tree
sedated.
Goblin, what's up, buddy?
Hey, Tree Goblin. Wow, you're in here late, buddy. At least chiming in.
Hey, Doc,
welcome,
I gotta admit my tired brain this morning. I was thinking all morning that I'm gonna get a link for you for the coffee shop, thinking it's Wednesday for some reason.
Don't scare me. You just made my heart stop. I was like, did I fucking forget it?
I literally almost DM'd you like at a 9:35 today. Like, aren't we gonna do this?
Show prep is tomorrow. Show is on Wednesday.
Nice. I hope we don't talk about comics.
See, Rex, we prepare the show ahead of time.
Well,
sure we do.
Good for you, Doc. Look, I can have guests on here and not talk about comics without being, going into seizures or going through withdrawals. We like to talk about, other things here.
Rex? Can you really?
I haven't, said, were you a Marvel or DC person? Not.
Oh, poor Rex.
But now, has your husband? Has he? Now, have I got the name right? Bruce?
Nope.
Scott.
Okay, Scott. Okay, Bruce is your co-host or whatever, right?
Yes.
Your buddy in arms. Okay, I just want to get that straight in my head, at least for today. I may not remember it tomorrow. I'll make no promise.
For this moment.
That's fine.
For this segment, right? But now, did he read comics? Was he a comic book guy?
No, he was.
So we won't talk about comics anymore. So
yeah. If you want to see me, like, just go glassy eyed and be like, that was the other thing too. I'm like, I really want to make friends in these circles and all this, but it was it was really hard for me to pull the trigger because I'm like, I'm not a comic book person, and I don't want people to hate me because I'm not. Like, oh, you don't belong here.
Nah, none of that happens. It's all pop culture in this little sphere we all roll around in. And just know, if anyone gives you shit, just, sick Shadowhawk on him. He'll kill him. He'll just leave him dead.
Good.
They'll never find the body.
You heard that, Shadowhawk? You are my white knight of the internet.
Oh boy, are you in trouble?
Oh no.
Paul Monsky says, like the discussion the other day about getting sick from food poisoning. We discuss other things on this channel besides, comics. Occasionally we'll hit Hot Wheels or Matchbox or something else, toys.
Yep. Movie makers. All kinds of stuff.
Cultural things.
What is I'm more of a TV person.
Are
We
you?
want to talk like old TV. I can talk old TV.
Okay, let's
Oh,
talk old TV. What I was going to ask, what is your jam when it comes to entertainment?
Well, I will tell you my very first fandom and feeling fandom was Mork and Mindy. I was
Oh,
in love
Nanu
with
Nanu.
Mork. Fucking Nanu.
Oh,
Like,
I would actually put my little recorder up there and record the audio so I could listen to it later. I was rolling laughing. Improv genius. You know,
yes.
the best
Yeah.
improv guy I've seen, just about, except for Charlie Chaplin. You know,
Yeah. I loved
welcome
Mork
to
and
the show,
Mindy.
Tank Ferret.
I was, oh,
oh,
thanks.
Jesus
Hello,
Christ.
hello.
Hello.
Jesus
See,
Christ. Who let
How's-
this guy in here?
I gave you your
I-
shot, and now he's gone. No, I did that. I'm a nice guy.
Hey, Tank.
Chris, hey, what's up, Doc? How you doing, bud?
I'm well.
Chrissy, good to meet you. Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
A fan.
Christy, so I did ask you a question.
Tank,
What
turn
is
your
your
mic down
jam
just a little
towards
bit.
Mork and Mindy?
I'm sorry. Say that again.
What is your jam, sort of entertainment wise, on TV? Give us some more things besides Mork and Mindy.
Now, like growing up,
Well,
you know,
whatever.
of
I
course.
mean, what do you like to watch? Because I watch silent movies, I watch old movies, I watch new movies. You know, but
I
you know,
like
I have
I like a
my
good
favorite.
sitcom. I like
Good
a good
sitcom.
sitcom.
Well,
You
what's a good
know,
sitcom in your estimation?
um,
It's certainly not this show. But
actually, okay, no, I'm going to change my answer for right now because I
okay.
found this piece of wonderful entertainment on Hulu.
Mm.
It was called, and it's so sad because I feel like so many people have not seen it, but it's called The Great. And it is a satirical retelling of Catherine the Great's rise to power. And the production value on it is fantastic. The writing is mwah. Like, if you have not seen The Great and you have Hulu, go watch it. It's bingeable. It's hilarious. It's really kind of gross at times. Like, I guarantee anybody here in this chat, you will love it. You'll love The Great. So, as far as like stuff I've discovered recently, The Great, I can't think of anything better than that. In my teen years, I loved Northern Exposure, which just started streaming in these
Oh yeah.
last 6 months. Northern Exposure, great
Yeah.
writing, fantastic.
Did you like
Probably
Fargo?
I liked Fargo. I
Mm-hmm.
love The Sopranos. Like, I
Mhm.
think Sopranos revolutionized television, and we
How
probably
so?
rewatch that every 5 years.
How
Just
so?
the format of it, you know? It to me, and you can correct me if I'm wrong. I'm always wrong. That's why I am a perfect co-host with Doc, is because he's always right. So I'm always wrong. And however, like
As long as
kind
we
of
keep
like
that straight.
that the cinematic feel, but in a series. Like, was that
Mhm.
something that existed before The Sopranos?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to tell you this though. There's this new show. It's a little underground. It's a little indie. It's a little edgy. You know, it has smoking and drinking and shit without a warning.
Mhm.
It's called the Andy Griffith Show. That shit rocks.
I like Andy Griffith as well. Let me see. And of course, sitcoms. So basically my family growing up, we didn't need a TV guide. They called me the walking, living TV guide because I'd memorize everything that was on at any given time during the day. So, you know,
Mhm.
like Cosby Show, grew up with the Cosby Show. That was fun.
Yeah, it's a damn shame he grew up to be a raper. I mean, a
I know.
rapper. I mean, a
You know,
I mean,
you know,
emphysema.
when that shit comes
pardon
out,
me.
like I get, because my conspiracy wheels start turning.
She
So when
grabs the
somebody
tinfoil hat.
when somebody's, you know, gets exposed for being a certain way in Hollywood, I'm like, he was about to talk. And so they just aired all his dirty laundry and put him away.
Yeah. Sometimes sometimes, Christy, you know me, I don't even own a tinfoil hat,
I
but
know.
I start to put one on this for the same thing. Like you see it happening. It's like, who are they about to rat out that this happened to them?
Right. No, exactly. And Doc, I don't think you're aware of this, but I am slowly chipping away at you
Uh-oh.
weekly. And I think within a decade you're going to be full on tinfoil hat with me.
Oh no.
We're going to talk
No.
chemtrails and
Jesus
flat
Christ.
earth.
Oh my God. I beat up at least 3 flat earthers before breakfast every morning.
I'm not a flat earther. I don't even have first off, I can't math that well. And but I will still I'm not ever going to mock and ridicule a flat earther because I just feel like we've been so lied to. I'll leave a little space for that to eke in if it needs to.
The
But
one
whatever.
that I flipped on, and I'll be honest about this, Rex. I was the guy that absolutely believed Lee Harvey Oswald was the sole shooter until I watched the interview with the surgeon that was in the emergency room when Kennedy was rolled in. And he just very matter of factly points to the front of his head. He goes, "Yeah, he was shot right here and it blew out the back of his head." That's
Yeah,
2 shooters.
No way.
Period.
Exactly. Yeah.
I mean, that's the end of the discussion. There's more than one shooter.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I just think
I
it's
need to
really
get.
I think it's really funny that the term conspiracy theorist was invented by the CIA to, mock and use to mock and ridicule the people questioning it.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
You know,
it's really sleight of hand, right? I mean, it's a good feint tactic. Like in basketball, you feint one way and then you go the other. You fake them out. So yeah, it's a technique that's that's used all the time, and it's seeped into culture where we just kind of gloss over it. Critical thinking, that's why I love Flip City already. It's because I thought this sort of thing was dead, to tell you the truth, because no one would take on the task of what you're doing.
well,
Back in the day, like I said, you had I get when looking at your stuff, I get a heavy metal vibe too to some of the artwork. Some of the this is, I don't know why the magazines do this and not comics or other things, but it seems like some of the edgier stuff are in magazine format.
it does seem that way. Well, what's funny about the whole heavy metal connection is when I was looking into newsstand distribution, I spoke to a few different like middlemen that help you get it done.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what we were compared to, because they have to compare you to something that's on the market currently to like kind
Right.
of gauge how your barcode's going to do and all this stuff. And it was heavy metal that they were comparing us to. And once we get that kind of like some kind of funding, like
Mhm.
angel investors, please contact me, flipcity@flipcitymag.com. If we can get that kind of like nest egg to be able to do newsstand distribution, we're on it. Like,
Yeah.
but it takes quite a bit of money to like
Well,
fund
just
that.
know this, Christy.
Hmm.
When, not if, when I do win the Mega Millions lottery, I got you. I got you covered.
And
Okay,
when
good.
you go over to Fund My Comic, are you going to have like a catch up tier? What kind of thought have you put towards the campaign?
Yeah. So after our first time out, I realized I needed to do a catch up tier. So I did that on my last campaign, and that one probably had the most backers. So what I did with that was it was a 4-pack. So our previously 4 published editions, but we also have a and I'll do this on every on every one of our campaigns. We have a collector's super PAC where we bag and board everything published to date. And there's some super rarities in there that we don't sell anywhere else except for in that collector's super PAC. And it comes with a signed certificate of awesometicity and a gold foil hat. Yeah, that's what's in there.
And now there's going to be a Mala hat, make America laugh again.
Yes, I'm on it, Doc. I'm going to make that hat.
Make it happen.
We went all the way over, and Doc has said this for a long time. The pendulum is going to swing back, and it's going to swing back hard. And I think we're seeing that. And I think
Lord, yes.
I think he, the president right now is spot on with doing some of these executive orders. I'll never forget when Biden went into office, and the very first day he signed 15 of them. But now he's like, this is for this, and this is transparency, and and auditing. We're going to do auditing and stuff. And yeah, I'm sure the left is losing their mind now. They don't know. They're afraid of exposure. Their hands in the cookie jar. I mean, there's a lot of palpable fear out there, I think, because they're like, oh crap, he won. And now he's keeping his promises. I've even heard him described as an old Democrat. Is he an old Democrat? How do you see Trump? Is he like the old traditional Democratic, more Democrat than Republican, or is he?
I feel like
even though he ran on the Republican.
Yeah, side? I feel like he's a true centrist, man. I mean, he's all for social programs and everything. Am I incorrect? And
he's not as far to the right as I am. He is just a very common sense businessman. And when the left went so far left, they just kind of left him where he was. And he said, okay, well, these people over here are cool, so I'll just go hang out with them for a while. The right, that is.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's Christy, his only option to get elected.
You disappointed in me just then.
No, I'm thinking. I'm thinking of my empathy for the leftists, because I can't drop my humanity. Like when thinking, oh, these people, they are so fucking frustrating. Like I want to hate them, but I do absolutely have empathy for the people that truly are frightened and think these things that they've been fed, like they're going to be rounded up and put in camps and all this. Like I feel for them, because it really is. They're afraid. They're truly afraid because they're so far into the gaslit brainwash. And it's like, dude, just snap out of it. Like go outside or talk to your conservative. Yes. Or talk to your conservative neighbor without a ton of judgment and find out.
But is it going to happen, Christy?
No, I don't think it will. Okay. No, but but I still have empathy for them, because they're humans too.
I mean, there's, I feel sorry for the little critters of nature. They don't know they're stupid.
Right. It's like that.
A fly marrying a bumblebee.
It's so pretty.
I told you I'd shoot, but you didn't believe me. Why didn't you believe me? Boom, boom, boom. Happy, happy, joy, joy. Happy, happy, joy.
Oh my God.
Hey, Billy.
Tank, back your microphone down about 5 points, maybe 10.
Know.
Yeah, that was
you
like
just blasted back your drums out of my head. I don't know.
Dude, that's StreamYard, because I've got it on auto adjust. It's just like, it's nuts.
Oh, it is.
From the bathroom, confirmed. Uh-oh, we lost Christy. And
Christy. Baby, come back.
Baby, come
back. Any kind of fool could see.
Christy, come back.
That's exactly what popped in my head. Baby, come back.
Yep.
Baby, come back.
Christy,
I
come back.
regressed to the old 70s songs. My God.
What did I say that offended her? What was it?
You came on for one. Anyway, no, how the hell you been, Doc?
I'm always, terrible, but I'm here.
Welcome back.
Yay!
Hey. Tank was so loud. I was like,
sorry. Yeah, that's StreamYard. It's janky software, man.
Christy always to me she looks like a publisher to me. Like if I was way back in the day when I was first starting out in comics, if Christy was the publisher and I talked to her on the phone and she intimidated me and made me feel less than, which is the job of all publishers, I would then see her and go, "Yep, that's exactly what she should have looked like."
Oh my God, that's so nice. I've like always dreamed of being intimidating.
Yeah, but I'm not intimidated now. So I mean,
What does a
Okay.
publisher look like? I mean, a publisher used to be a hardened J. Jonah Jameson with the cigar. With
are
the
you not seeing Christy right now with the weasel eye glasses
weasel eye glasses. Wow.
and that
Okay.
and well, pay attention, Rex. That's not all. The weasel eye glasses, and if you watch closely, when she zones out for a second, her resting bitch face is a thing to behold.
You know, I perfected that during COVID because I refused to mask. So like I think it just stuck.
Well, now, how did you do that out in California, Christy?
Oh, okay. So here is a common misconception about California. There's actually all kinds of conservative communities, and I live in one. So,
Okay.
and we're somewhat remote. So, we're all just fucking living our lives up here. Oh,
Mhm.
and side note, we're also a resort area, so
Okay.
we get tourists on the weekends. So it was so fucking fun. During the week, we're living our lives. We're all going to the grocery store. Nobody, you get masks, but not
Mhm.
like
Mhm.
it was. And we're just like living our lives. And then the tourists would come up on the weekend and go to our grocery stores, and their minds would be blown at how many people were not in masks. And you can see them like
Yeah.
recoiling in fear because we're walking within 2 feet of each other. And like, yeah, it was fun. It was wonderful living where I lived during COVID.
Now, Carrie makes a point here, Christy. She wonders if you could intimidate me again just by sliding your glasses
Oh,
down to the tip of your nose.
and look at it. Hold on.
Throw that
Let me
look.
see.
Oh fuck
Oh
no!
God, I think I just had a bowel movement. My
I
God.
just lost my I lost 10 man points right then.
I know. My hair turned white. My God.
No,
It's like the librarian from hell. You owe me a nickel. I was only 3 years late. I'm just saying.
I checked out a book when I was in the 5th grade, and I kept checking it out and checking it out. It was called Bigfoot, His Kith and Kin. It was all about the cryptids before the word cryptid was even being used. And I loved that book, and it was going to be my job in life to go and prove the Loch Ness Monster was real. I thought, how hard can it be? It's a lake, right? It's not like Bigfoot where I got to go combing through the woods looking for him. It's a lake. Anyway, I kept that book, y'all. I kept it.
Do you still have it?
I had it until my 3rd marriage ended.
And she took it?
Well,
You threw it at her?
She was a librarian.
Ooh.
It was her revenge. She took it away.
Well, she didn't find you. She just divorced and took half.
Yeah, that was a fine, Rex.
Kind of like inflation is a tax, right?
Oh my God. No, I don't actually don't know what happened to that book, but I know I kept it and I still had it when I joined the Navy. But when I left to go join the service, my mom did what all moms do when the kids move out. I'm getting rid of his shit.
Now tell us more about Christy. They want to experience Flip City. You got a free issue that people can experience. What issue is that? Do you know the number?
No, actually, what we did is we made 2 samplers. We made what I called a simple sampler and a super sampler. So if you check out our the one that you can view right on our website. That's our simple sampler. And then you give us your email and you'll get the full super sampler emailed to you. So it's basically put together in the format of any edition of Flip City that you're going to get. But we picked and chose because some of our stuff is so offensive on purpose that we're like,
No wonder
this is going out to the general public. So we kind of curated it to make it a little softer for people to digest easily. And then they'll start getting our stuff physically and then decide if they're going, we want your money first, really. And then you decide if you think it's worth it or not, So yeah, I mean that's what we did with our simple and super samplers.
Now, what are your hobbies, Chrissy, besides publishing and intimidating Doc Blaylock? What are your hobbies? What do you like to do? Do you crochet? What do you do?
Really, Rex? Crochet?
Well, what? I don't hate
I
on
look like
that.
a
Now, Carrie
crocheter.
crochets. I've crocheted. Don't hate on us crocheting.
Oh my God, Rex. She goes elephant hunting and big game hunting in Africa.
Okay, I want to hear it from her.
No,
Jesus.
I'm actually kind of sad because I lost my big dog in September.
Oh, I'm
And
sorry.
one of my favorite things to do was take her on adventures, which was because I live in a mountainous area. So hiking was our thing. And I'm just looking forward to the day when I get another big dog and I will hike more again. But like I said at the beginning of the stream, like Flip City Magazine is our fucking life. Like we really do not have hobbies beyond. Oh, and I cook. Both me and Scott cook a lot. So we cook and bake. So I guess that's our hobby, but that's also
good
survival.
Yeah.
Yeah, we like making good food. And
Well,
and
I mean,
when
a good meal
I
takes
go
some
touch
time.
grass.
A good meal takes some time.
Oh yeah,
There it
absolutely.
was. Did you see the face? I just saw it. There it is. There it is. The resting bitch face was there.
Oh fuck,
It was a little spooky.
like that. It is kind of like that. Huh? And that's the other thing too. That's part of my ADD is I will just zone.
I thought we had Casper the Friendly Ghost on.
When you said the super sampler, all I heard was, and now it comes with grits.
Yeah. Well, when you popped out, I and Doc, he verbalized it, but I thought it immediately. The first thing was this old 70s song, "Baby Come Back." So both of us thought of it. Like the same thing.
Any kind of fool could see.
I know.
Go ahead, Doc.
Doc, your witticisms never fail to impress me with
You
how
know,
fast you are. Yeah.
One does what one can. One can't do a lot, but one does what one can.
Now, Carrie out in the chat, she uses a term
oneself as one
mainstream snowflake.
Jeez.
There are a bunch of snowflakes out there in California, correct?
It's a red state
in
controlled by blue cities.
Well, yeah, I would say you're right on that, Doc.
Like I just so you know, I don't talk about my magazine to my family because there's so many snowflakes. In fact, my mom, not this Christmas, but the Christmas before, said, "So what are you doing lately?" And I go, "I've been publishing a magazine for 4 years." Blah, blah, blah. And like I don't know who knows who in my family knows what about the magazine, but what I do know is my dad's a subscriber, and in his office they have this magazine rack that they put all of our magazines on. And I also know that the rest of my family visits my dad, so I know they've seen them. I don't know if they flipped through them. I don't know. But when my mom asked me what I was doing lately, I tell her, well, me and Scott are publishing this magazine. I know my mom would if she read our content, and because she's in that like, woke, fucked up mindset. So she would read my content and immediately think that I'm racist and homophobic and all these things,
Is that because of the news outlets that she watches on TV?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, that's what she's
Absolutely.
being fed daily.
Yeah,
Trump
and I
bad, Orange Man bad.
see, and it's fucking sucks. And this is also why I can go back and have empathy for these crazy wokies. Is I know my mom, and my mom is a lovely, like bleeding heart person. You know, she believes she is doing what is right because the world is so racist and blah, you know, and it's like, Mom, you've just been brainwashed. Anyway, but back to my story real quick. So my mom asked me that, and I'm like, yeah. And then she's like, oh, that's nice. But I see it out of my peripheral, my older sister, as soon as I bring up my magazine, because she was kind of engaged in the conversation, like from the outside, I see her go like this and just look at the ground. And I'm like, nope, don't even ask me what I'm doing. I'm just going to keep doing it. You don't have to support me, you know.
How did you come up with the name Flip City, and is there any hidden meaning in it?
So there's not really a hidden meaning, but we were thinking when we were thinking of a title for the magazine, we of course were referencing mad and cracked, and those things being words for being crazy, right? So we wanted to go with that kind of naming tradition. And there is a song called Twisted by Joni Mitchell, in which Cheech Marin
Hey, Ray.
has a spoken word at the end of the song. And he goes, that chick's twisted. She's crazy. She's Flip City. And so, yeah, so we were exposed to the fact that Flip City meant crazy. And it's just worked out perfect for us because it kind of goes along with the middle finger. It kind of goes along with flipping the script. It just works. And so many people have been so happy that we named the magazine what it is. What was the new lore we were talking about changing it to? Do you remember?
Elvis Costello, 75 pub band.
Oh, Elvis Costello also apparently had a pub band named Flip City. So I think we might change our lore because we love Elvis Costello.
I loved his rendition of She.
I was never like a big fan of Elvis Costello until like the last couple of years, and now I listen to him all the time.
Now, I mean, both of you into music? You like
yes.
music?
Yes, we're both big music fans. In fact, we have a running joke of anytime Radiohead comes on the radio, we go, you like Radiohead? Yeah, I like Radiohead. Cool. Let's make out. That's our joke.
I love it. I love it.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
Lord, Lord, Lord.
Lord, Lord, Lord.
You know,
don't invoke
you know that
the
song?
deity.
That song, sing it again, Rex.
Clowns to the left of me, jokers to the right. Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
So when my daughter was like 4 years old, that song came on the radio, and I had my purse on the console. And so I made my purse sing that song to her. And so I was the clown and she was the joker.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah, that's good.
It's a good memory. She remembers that too. She's like, Mom, remember? Like, so anytime,
see?
Yeah, anytime that song comes on, if we happen to be together, she's like, where's the purse?
I just saw that Roberta Flack has passed away.
Where who?
Roberta Flack has passed away.
Roberta Flack. Wow, she gave us some music for sure. Yeah. How old was she, Doc?
88 years old.
Yeah, I know she was getting up there. That's wild that you took the name from an old Joni Mitchell song, because she was part of that hippy dippy type generation. You know, Joan Baez and Woodstock and all like that. You know what we haven't talked about, and maybe you don't know, but it seems like that Mad, Crack, National Lampoon, and Flip City maybe has kind of an underground comics influence, like R. Crumb.
Yes.
Subversive, subverting expectations. Am I correct?
Yeah. So another term that I was exposed to since publishing, I didn't know it was a thing. It was Oh, the art style. What do you call that? Um,
I don't know. Your artist is in the chat. Ask him.
no. He doesn't draw in the style. It's like it's
Give me a hint.
that art style. What's the art style? What?
Pop.
No, not vaporwave, but you know, like how Dave draws. How would you? It seems like it's a diminishing term, but it's actually a really cool art style. Oh, lowbrow.
Lowbrow humor.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right.
Yeah.
so we love the lowbrow, and there's a lot of that. You'll find that art style a lot in Flip City.
Yeah, and again, I got an issue. Christy sent me one, and it's the first time I have laughed out loud at something I read since Louis Kazar died, and it was a good laugh. It was hysterical. The spoofs on I don't, what channel does that stuff come on where they're the Curse of Oak Island and Ancient Aliens?
History?
Is it the History Channel? Anyway, it's
Or
a
is it
spoof.
Discovery?
I
History
don't know.
Channel.
It was a
history.
spoof. It was a spoof on that, and I could not quit laughing. It was so damn funny.
You know, I have that, Doc. I have that all cut up into a presentation that I do on live streams with sound effects and all that kind of stuff. It's so fun to read.
Yeah,
Grit,
we
Christy,
did a reading of that live on when I was on.
Okay, so you have done it with me.
I have.
I've taken it multiple places, and
it's hysterical. I love it.
Christy, you are making social commentary, which is dealing with today's issues. But now, do you project somewhat in the future? What do you see in the next 5-10 years in America happening?
you know, I feel that the pendulum may be swinging real hard, right? Even to it could possibly go way too far to the right, in my opinion. But we'll see what happens. You know, I like what's happening right now. We're getting a lot of exposure on corruption and all that, and so I'm satisfied.
Yeah, to me, it's starting to feel like 1980 again. You know, we were told in the Carter years, this is just the new normal. Get used to it. Life sucks. There was the misery index,
thermostat down,
the gas shortage. Wear a sweater if it's cold in your house. Don't run your heat. Blah blah blah. And Ronald Reagan came in his loving voice. He said, "Well, fuck that," and everything came roaring back.
Yeah, I'm personally really hoping that we'll see prosperity return and consumer confidence, because like doing what we're doing, and I'm sure this is across the board in the indie scene, we all felt a fucking hit, and we felt it really hard. And I swear we tightened. One thing Scott and I'm really proud that we were able to do was survive and continue publishing through the whole Biden administration, but our belts got so fucking tight. Like, I don't know what else we can cut, you know? So we need the economy to come back very badly, desperately.
Oh yeah. So when the eggs are $6 or $10 up in New York, it needs to come back hard.
So I was able to retire and was making even more money than I was as a counselor. Now, if you want to know what a counselor earns, I'm not going to tell you, but just try to book an appointment and let me know what they charge. Okay. That's what I was making, but I was making more than that with my fine art. And it was great. I was, oh my God, I was loving life. And then Biden got elected and I couldn't give a painting away. And that's why I came back to comics. So for that alone, Joe, thanks, pal. I'm back in this world now because of you.
Having to associate with people like me.
I swear, anytime I hear Doc talk about making comics, it's all hate. He hates it so much.
I know, right?
I do not. I love storytelling. I love storytelling. The part I hate is marketing. It's always
he calls himself Doc, but he's really a dentist. He's a master at extraction.
Oh,
Pain.
No,
I feel your pain.
there's three things you have to do in any art to succeed. You have to make art. That means be prolific and proficient. Two, you got to show it to people, get it out in front of folks. And number three, stand behind your product. All right, it's the number two. Stick that middle finger back up, Rex. It's the number two that I have a hard time with. Showing it to people, getting it in front of people, marketing, handling the money. What happened to your finger, Christy? You got a boo-boo.
I do.
Yes.
It's some of
Are
that
you
black
talking about
ink.
that? It's
Yeah.
nicotine. It's
Oh, rock
tobacco.
the hell on. She's so hardcore.
Oh no, that's
Mhm.
oh yeah.
Mad
I need a
love.
scrub again. No,
You
this
just had
is
to call
worse.
it out, didn't you, Doc?
No, but do you want to see this finger? Look at what that finger does.
My pinky
Oh,
does
the
that.
crooked finger. Yeah. Well, that just means you're double jointed. That's all.
No, I can't.
No,
I can't straighten it out.
no,
It's
Well,
Christy,
you just did.
I
So
kid
there
you
was
not.
a little help.
It was a
with a little help from my
a
friend.
year and a half ago. I caught my balance by just gently placing my fingertips on the wall because I was staggered a little bit,
Mhm.
and my pinky did that, and it's never gone back.
Oh, dude. So I didn't even know my finger was like this until my daughter said, "Mom, what's wrong with your finger?" And I looked, I'm like, I don't know. And it's yeah. So yeah, and Doc, actually, you were probably one of the first people outside of my family that I showed it to because I was like, dude, I need somebody old to show this to. Oh, Doc, of course. And you gave me the good piece of advice of just to give the joint a little bit of relief to tie it up in a popsicle stick.
Yep.
Yep.
There you
Omer
go.
wants to know where he can see my paintings, Rex. Do you mind showing a few if I share a screen with you?
No, bring it up. Bring it up. We'll, show
All
it
right.
for sure. Yeah. I love showing your paintings, and
You'll
you
have to-
actually have
Mhm,
you
mhm.
actually have a painting YouTube channel, don't you?
Yeah, I just haven't posted anything since I came over here. All right, you'll
Yeah.
have to let me know when it's up on screen because I can't see the screen.
Okay, it's up on screen right now. And just
All
don't
right.
flip through them too quickly.
Okay. All of my paintings are plein air. That means, well, not all. Sometimes I work in the studio, but usually I go stand on site and paint what's in front of me. And it's usually done a la prima in one go. If I can't get it one go, I come back the next day at the same exact time and stand in the exact same spot because you want to capture the light. That's always the main thing.
Which can change dramatically in a day's time.
Yep. And usually you have about 30 to 45 minutes before the light will change. So you got to paint fast.
Yeah. Well, that helps add to the energy, right? The timing.
I think so.
how much-
I
yeah.
think so.
I mean,
This is,
it's really you're building up layers.
Yeah, this one is not impressionism, which is what I normally do. This one is tonalism. I was studying J.M.W. Turner's cloud formation work,
Uh-huh.
and that one ended up being that one sold for a lot of money.
Nice frame, by the way.
That's
You
cool.
get that, people. Now that's cool. Is that water, or is that
No,
stone?
it's snow.
or-
Snow.
It's snow. Okay. My three options were it's either water, stone, or snow. Yeah. So was
something
there
happened.
snow in Georgia, or did you travel? Because you traveled and did some of these.
No, this one was actually a commission from someone living in Colorado.
Okay. Did they supply you with a photo or something?
Yeah, they sent one photo that is
Okay.
this composition, but they sent me about 10 other photos of the lighting that I needed. And then something
What
happened to this
size
photo.
are we looking at, Doc, on some of these?
This one is 20 by 24. This one is 20 by 24, 16 by 20, 16 by 20, 16 by 20, 20 by 24. No, wait, that one's 18 by 24, 16 by 20, and 30 by 40. And then something happened to this photo, and I don't know what. But anyway, look, there's the rest of it. And then there's this one. This one is 16 by 20. And this was a path that I kept seeing at the same time on my commute when I was driving for work. And I kept saying, that is a beautiful scene. I'm going to paint that. And then one day I got called on the way to work and said, hey, I don't have to work today. So I said, cool. In the back of my truck, I always keep my painting supplies. Pulled over, got in the back of my truck and painted it.
That's gorgeous.
Thank you. This is my favorite that I've ever done. This is from my home in the Low Country, Beaufort, South Carolina. Again, acrylic on canvas. This was 24 by 36. It's one of those intensely bright but hazy mornings on the water where you lose the horizon. So,
I love that. That's so cool.
thank you, brother.
So it's sad that you gave up on painting.
And I haven't given up. This is a 24 by 36. There's a great painter here on YouTube, Stuart Davis, spelled Davies, Davies. He's a tonalist, and he loves to paint these big dynamic cloudscapes and these very distant vistas. And someone asked him on his show, and he and I would chat. Someone asked him, can you do that with acrylic? And he said, no, you can only do this with oil. I said, fuck that. So I did this one in acrylic and sent it to him. So now he says, yes, you can do it in acrylic. I can't do it in acrylic.
Yeah. I mean, you can make acrylics look like oils, or you can make oils look like acrylics if you know what you're doing.
Yep. And
that's beautiful. Look at
Ooh.
that. Wow.
Oh, I love that.
Love that silhouette stuff. Yeah, that's cool.
It was fun. This was my very
but
first
now,
painting.
when you do something like that, Doc, you're running against time, right? I mean, that doesn't
Always.
stay that way for long,
Always.
right?
Always
I mean,
racing time.
the sun's going down, right? Or either that or
Yeah.
coming up.
Yeah, it's going down. This is looking west on the main drag here in town.
A great title for this would be Transition. Just saying.
I always name mine the way Monet named his. So this is actually called Sunset Hill Street. You just name it for what it is. This was the very first painting I ever did. It was a copy of a Monet, obviously. I wanted to know if I could paint because I knew I could draw. So I did this as a copy, and then I said, okay, cool, I can paint. And then I replicated probably about 100 Monet, Renoir, and Pissarro paintings to get a handle on the technique, and then I just started painting. So, yep, there you go.
Now, which one was, well, you took it down, but which one was the one that Kate bought, her commissions, because she was pointing out one?
She has hers. I don't have a photo of it. Usually, if I do a commission,
okay.
I don't even keep a photo of it because that's theirs. It's entirely theirs. But I had that particular client's permission to put that in my portfolio. So
but now that, I mean, you need to document your work. I mean, yeah, it's theirs, but people need to know that you did it, you know, and have at least.
Well, I have enough stock that I can do that. And if it's not a commission, I can keep photos of anything I want. So, like, you know, I teach at an art school, and probably 20 of my paintings are hanging over there.
So is it drying time? Is it drying time that you don't work in oils and that you?
I hate oil. I hate oil. Yes.
Okay. And the smell, of course. Yeah.
I don't mind the smell of oil paint. Acrylic, though, it's I put it where I want it to be, and it stays there.
Christy, do you do any, besides the publishing side, have you previously tried to do some artistic stuff on your own end? Or Scott?
Well, I mean, Scott is an illustrator, animator, and all of that. Yeah. But my art form is photography, videography. And I've become a decent graphic designer as well, but I like illustrative skill. Like I've never practiced.
Good at it too.
Was that kind of a have-to thing because you're doing Flip City?
What? Was
that kind of a have-to thing, you know, become the graphic?
Well, no, before doing Flip City, Scott and I have always done like creative projects together. So like when he first graduated, we were trying to get him like contract work and stuff like that. And we were able to pick up like graphic design jobs and logos and stuff like that. And so that's when I started doing some graphic design. And my first, most proudest moment of us working together doing graphic design, is we both did a brochure design for a local theater, and submitted both of them, and they chose mine. I was like, I beat you.
Yeah.
So
Take that.
yeah, that was a proud moment for me, because he's the one that's trained in all of this, and I've just kind of learned the software and stuff like that. But I personally really like to do more video work, and it could work with Flip City, as far as like promotional stuff, but doing it more like just skits and things like that to promote what Flip City is just finding people to do the skits, because I don't.
Well, how
like
would you
being on
describe
camera.
yourself personally, you and Scott? Are you counterculture people? Are you
We are
just
100%.
Abby normal? What?
No, we're a very anti-establishment. Like, we fucking hate the establishment. So
Yeah,
I would,
man.
Yay.
I'd say that'd probably be the best descriptor of us as a couple.
But there's both sides of that. You know, I think on both ends, people would
I
say,
mean,
fuck the
I
establishment. Fuck the
guess.
establishment on both sides. So
Yeah.
where do you kind of fall into
Like,
that?
as far as like politically,
Well,
like, I
I
feel like,
mean, you know, you say that's a big net you're throwing when you say
yeah,
I'm anti-establishment. What does that mean
like,
for
we're
you?
fucking punk rock. Like, we're way too old to still be punk rock, but we are.
Okay.
I mean,
Like,
I
don't
think,
fucking tell me what to do.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, just leave me the fuck alone.
yes.
That's yeah, I get that. I get that.
I'll
You
pay
know,
my taxes. I'll be a good citizen. I'll be patriotic.
no, like,
But
no,
no,
actually, like, I'm all about, like, everybody needs to stop paying their fucking taxes. Like, tax revolt,
yeah.
you
Well,
know?
I mean, we're seeing a lot of misuse of money right now, huh? I
Yeah.
mean, there's been no better reason to cut back on that crap, because I think
Listen,
we're vastly
Rex,
overtaxed.
You know,
Rex, I caught Christy. I had to turn her around. She was headed for Boston to dump tea in the harbor. Okay.
Oh, okay. All right.
She was going to get in trouble. I had to just head that shit off.
Well, some people
well,
say that was a psyops and never
I'm,
happened anyway. So
I want to tell you a short story of like how anti-establishment I
okay.
am, and it's
Okay.
not like my proudest moment because I didn't handle it as well as I could have. But basically, I refused to mask in Las Vegas at Las Vegas Paris.
How dare you?
1 year, pretty much exactly 1 year from lockdowns. And all I wanted to do was go to my room that I had just checked into. And it got so fucking out of hand that I was surrounded by security, handcuffed and carried to the back and then arrested for not masking. And but I wasn't actually arrested. I was kidnapped by the Las Vegas Police Department and held against my will overnight and assaulted by a crackhead while being held.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's pretty much how like anti-establishment I am. And I'm like, fuck you, leave me alone.
Have never been prouder of you than I am in this moment, Christy.
Thank you.
I'm proud to know you. The founding fathers have been proud too. You're damn right. Yeah.
I still have PTSD.
If you don't take a stand, we might all fall. I mean, you have to draw a line somewhere and say my constitutional rights are being trampled upon, you know, and I, you know, if there's one proud moment, it was on day one when Trump signed the executive order to free all the people that were, I feel, were railroaded. And I mean, even deep into Biden's term, were still being arrested and detained for just being citizens in the wrong place at the right time, and they defined what was wrong, you know.
We were at January 6th as well.
Were you really? So you could have been potentially somebody that they picked
Stop
up,
it, Christy. You know? Stop it.
Yeah.
Stop what?
Stop it.
I mean, can you imagine the impact that would have made on your life?
So
if you're detained, you and your husband are arrested for, you know, 2 or 3 years, and you're detained like some of these folks. That should never have ever happened in America.
Yeah,
you're guaranteed a swift and speedy trial.
Exactly. And they, I mean,
that's a
the
right,
horror
not a
stories,
privilege.
I hope we got lawsuits out of this. I really do, out of the people that
Oh,
were
me too.
abused.
I hope people fucking swing for
Yeah.
what for what they were
On
involved
public
in.
television. Hello.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you know what? So, I'm thinking of like how I felt about capital punishment like 6-10 years ago, and thinking about how people would go like kind of as entertainment to go watch public executions, and I could not wrap my brain around it. Like, how could people be that savage? And now I fucking know, because I will be in the front row. Like, let that
Yeah.
blood splash on me.
But now I
I'm
agree with your
so
caution, Christy, because when you're getting that so hardcore about it, which is just, look, if you need a deterrent, you definitely do, but it can swing the other way and become what they've said, a totalitarian type thing, But what's amazing is while they're yelling traitor, traitor to Trump, I was thinking at the end, and before he took office, that they were treacherous and treasonous, and so they often project on you what they're doing, what they're
oh yeah.
actually doing.
I mean,
They're
that's
masters at that.
that's literally in the rules for radicals.
Yeah,
Is
exactly.
accuse your opponent of what you're doing.
In 1957, they had a communist manifesto, and at some point, especially in education, they've ticked every box off.
Yes.
Something that we even had sort of witch trials over, the McCarthy years in the 50s. And then it's like we relented and went the other way. And I mean,
it's a damn shame that McCarthy was right.
I know that is exactly what I'm like, huh?
Get my tinfoil hat, Christy.
We've been gaslit to think that was a bad thing,
Right.
But wait,
yeah,
right.
Exactly. Yeah.
Look what happened.
He called it.
Yep.
I've got that meme, this George Orwell. Boy, did I call it or what? He was just a few years too late. Christy, I have never been prouder to know you and Scott now. If we ever meet, I'm going to buy you guys an avocado.
A whole avocado?
One each.
Avocado.
One each.
Wow.
Actually, one of the coolest things I saw outside Disneyland, gosh, a couple decades ago, was a mom kneeling down in front of her toddler, spooning the baby pieces of avocado. And I'm like, if that's not the most California thing I've ever seen.
Well,
let's face it, avocado is a superfood. It's one of the most nutritious.
Well, I mean, it's also the only thing that's almost as expensive as eggs.
I know, right? Hello. They will tell you who they are. They really do. They expose themselves, and it's amazing how silly they got with it.
I mean,
before Doc always exposes himself.
The election before last, and sniff you. Anyway, Biden came out and a week before they voted said, I want to thank you for voter fraud, and even brought Obama into it, and still it's just Joe, it's just the way he talks, and it's like, you just admitted you're gonna steal the election. You admitted it, the main candidate, and that's because his brain was pudding 4 years ago, much less during office. And I love that they're going after people that were making decisions on the president's behalf, unbeknownst to the president. That was going on. There was no way he was mentally there to make some of those decisions.
I mean, even though
I'm sure that trail leads back to Obama.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. Obama. That was Obama's third term.
Yeah,
and we barely survived it. Had we not won this election, that would have been it. We'd have been done.
Yeah.
So, but I just, I don't want to brag or anything, Rex. I've got chickens.
Oh, well, cock-a-doodle-doo.
You're a king.
Here in the valley, we have chickens, and there ain't no bird flu.
All right, Doc, worst case scenario, you brought it up. what if Biden won, or I mean, Harris, whatever. What would America look like? Where would we headed if we hadn't taken a turn with this election?
Did you see Kamala's most recent
Oh,
speech?
she was
that she
drunk
gave?
or high or
Drunk
something.
out of her mind. It would have just been more of the same, and we would continue to spiral completely out of control.
Hmm.
No respect on the world stage, being a sucker for every country in the world. Our administration standing up for everyone but Americans, and telling us basically to pick one and suck it. They're going to do what they want to do.
Yeah, China and Russia flexing and growing.
Hmm.
Russia in the Arctic area, maybe Taiwan gone.
Yeah,
How do you
yeah.
see it, Chris? Where would we have been without this recent
Yeah, I
turnaround?
mean, pretty much what Doc said. I think I know me personally, I'd be a lot more, you know, doom and gloom probably, and
Mhm.
even to the point of this is probably the end of our republic, you know.
Yeah. Would you have left California?
Possibly, we've been making escape plans for years, like where do we want to go? And likely I'd be close to being in Utah,
My question is, how bad does things have to get for you to leave a blue state?
Well, okay, so here's how we have like the sweetheart of a deal right now. I have a 3-bedroom house up in the mountains, secluded in a conservative area, and my rent is $900 a month. And so basically what would have to happen is we get kicked out of our house. I would move out of state. That's probably what would happen. Or if they just like massively increased our rent, I would leave the state to find something cheaper. But and because we work from home, we don't drive a lot, so I don't have to really worry about the gas prices or anything like that. So we continue to live frugally, put all of our time, attention, effort, and money into the magazine, and it's working for us. I feel like we have God's grace and blessing on this project. We've gotten so fucking lucky, and I love my state. I do not want to leave my state, but yeah, I think that would be
She's the resistance.
If we
your
couldn't
mother's
afford to
there,
live
right?
here.
I mean, you got family
Oh,
there.
my whole family, except for my dad, lives within an hour of me. So that's the other thing too. And I have my 22-year-old who still lives at home, but also has a boyfriend that lives 60 miles from us. So if I left the state, she would probably stay here. And I don't want to do that. So
are you
No,
ready
I
for
hear you. I
empty
used to
nest
live.
syndrome?
What's that?
Are you ready for? Go ahead, Tank.
I was gonna say no. I feel you. I lived in Los Angeles for over 20 years and grew up in California. And the wife and I moved the family across country to rural Illinois and bought a house for what it cost to rent one on the outskirts of LA for like a year, like the whole price of the house.
Yeah, Tank, I gotta ask you.
Brutal.
I gotta ask you now. You're an LA boy. You're a SoCal man. How you like that Illinois winter?
I have polar bear. My wife does not like it. She loathes it. Me, on the other hand, I'm like, yeah, it gets spicy, but nothing.
When
I
you
really
have your
can't
husband's
handle.
photo up on the wall and you're throwing darts at it, take a hint.
It's hey Walter, what's up, buddy?
Hey Walter.
Hey Elsie.
Oh, that's Elsie. Okay.
Of course,
Hey,
that's Elsie. Yeah. Elsie's got so many aliases.
No, he doesn't.
Yes, he does.
He doesn't. He can't even spell the word.
But it's I've got contingency plans because Georgia's kind of a purple state, and it gets a little scary here. And my plan, though, you guys, and I hope I'm not spoiler alert anything for season 8 of Doc, is to get insanely wealthy and just get the fuck off the map.
Right.
No, I dig it.
Christy, are you preparing for the empty nest syndrome for when your daughter does leave the house?
You
It's
know,
gonna happen.
she's actually doing a good job in preparing. Like, she's doing a good job in preparing me, because there's a couple things that I know I did wrong. Like when I was, in my 20s, like I didn't cut my family off or anything, but they really did not know what I was up to much in my 20s. My daughter is dabbling her toes in that area. So, for example, she has been gone for like a month, and I've talked to her a couple of times, and she is like ignoring my phone calls and stuff like that. I'm like, oh, it's happening. What I did to my mother is happening to me. But I think I'm handling it differently than my mother did. My mom did the whole guilt trip thing and everything. I don't do that to her. And it's probably also because we, like I said, we have our paper baby to keep us busy. So, like, I don't know. I don't know what I'd really like to have happen is to buy property and have 2 houses built on the property. Like, I'd really like to be that very, very, very involved grandmother that is helping raise the children.
You want to
We'll
be on
see if
Walton.
that happens.
You got to get on Walton Mountain.
I want that.
And yes, and have Goodnight John Boy every night. I hear you.
Yeah.
Carrie, let me answer your question. How do I feel about it? Of course, it's an abomination and an affront to Christ. However, Christ told us this would happen. So it's just yet another sign of, we're in the end.
All I said is I hadn't seen it, and I don't know how it was presented. And the shack depicted in a very respectful manner God the Father as a black woman. God, I don't know if you've seen the movie The Shack or read the book.
That's
wildly popular.
I read it when it was popular, and it's blasphemy. It's a heresy.
Yeah. Okay.
God the Father is not a cross-dresser. Sorry.
Yeah. Well,
neither is Jesus. So,
Yeah. Well, I didn't want to speak out of term and not talk, really give my opinion about something that I hadn't really seen presented. But like, I know they did the Last Supper in drag or whatever, which was an affront, whatever.
Yeah.
At the Olympics. Which,
look, it's the only religion that it is politically acceptable to mock is Christianity.
Yeah, that's pretty much true. Yeah. I mean, and don't talk about Islam. So, mostly, it's kind of like the riots, mostly.
Tank
has to leave.
Don't leave us, Tank.
I have to go. I'm making steakhouse baked potatoes for dinner tonight.
Tank.
With everything.
All right, well, hey,
yeah.
we got to hang out soon, buddy.
No, for real, dude. Hit me up at Spare Tank on Twitter. I got a new Twitter account. New X.
God. Put it in private chat so I can get it.
Can he just come on Coffee Shop and we can hang out?
I would love to.
Yeah, of course he can. And like you, Tank, I work from home all day drawing, so we can hang out backstage and have coffee.
I mean, dude, I work from home. I educate out of the home, and I'm the best damn housewife you ever met. Look at me. Look at me. I am the wife now. Now, my wife got a better job than what I had, so it was like, no, somebody's got to stay home. Somebody's got to. It was like, dude, it was a money decision. Plus, she spent like 22 years not getting out of the house, working from home as an editor, as a ghostwriter.
Mm-hmm.
She is really enjoying her time out in nature.
Right.
I'm gonna let her have it.
Right on.
Because if anybody's earned it, she has. And she loves her job. We even talked about it. Like, I was like, well, what happens? My commercial income, gets big enough where it's going to take over as a full-time job. She's like, I'm not going to job. I love my job. I was like, message received. Cool. I'll hire. We live in a college town. I'll hire some college students, come over, tutor the kids. People working on their education, and they'll follow my syllabus and my curriculum, and and I'll hire like a nanny to come over for a few hours a day while I'm working in the office.
Right on. That sounds like a plan.
Because my 14-year-old, soon to be 15-year-old, this summer, like I got to come up with it. This summer, he wants to start interning at local restaurants.
All right. Well, look, drop your
Anyway.
drop your @ handle in private chat for me.
Yeah, sir.
And
but yes, it's
I'll hit
x.com / or at spare tank.
And I want to thank Mr. Spare Tank here for coming on last night for the draw stream. We had a
I
hoot.
appreciate it.
If you didn't see that, we had Scarlet Fever on. We had our friend Dana up in New York. That's actually not out of her mind. And we had Janet from Another Planet. And we had Omer Glitch for, till his thing glitched. And just for
yeah, we mostly worked on the picture I'm showing right here.
all right. I hit you up, Tank.
Yeah, this is fan art for T-Punk and the Based Hards of the Universe. A new comic coming out from Vasilis Lolos that I'm totally vibing on. I love the underground vibe. I love that comics with an X, like Pirate Corps, Dread, Ranks. It's dirty. I want
Yeah.
Christy, how come you describe yourself and maybe Steve as
okay? Bye, folks. Sorry, Rex. I gotta go.
Bye.
See you, Tank.
See you
as
later.
punk rock, because you said you grew up in the 90s, and punk rock was like early 80s.
Punk rock, that went into the 90s as well, but
it did.
It's not, and it's not like we weren't listening to 80s music in the 90s.
Right. Now, Christy, hold on though. I gotta ask now. Are you punk rock enough to know the following names? Skinny Puppy.
Yes, I know Skinny Puppy.
Meat.
No.
I'm trying to think of that other.
That sounds more hard rock.
No, hardcore punk.
I think there's a Meat Puppet too.
There's
the Meat Puppets. They're great.
You met Big Buford Ogletree from Hot Rod Walton.
I did. I did.
Okay, when I met him, he was a skater and a punk, and he used to make me listen to Skinny Puppy and Meat, and I forget what the other ones were.
Public Image Limited.
I can't remember. I know it was just the most obnoxious, horrible music, but I admired the energy.
It's funny. I'm not that much into punk music or anything, but just that
the culture.
The culture, yeah.
Yeah. I was a metalhead before metal turned into thrash. And what they call metal now is just what we called thrash. Just crunching bar chords and rah, 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 rah. Right? When that came out, thrashing was just a technique that metalheads did. Well, hell, they took over metal. And
right. You know what I can't stand is the screamo hard rock metal shit. Like, I cannot. No. Like,
yeah, I'm old
get that
school
away
metal.
from me.
Iron Maiden, Dio, Sabbath, Judas Priest.
I can take that metal myself. Yeah,
the good metal singers that can sing.
See, and that's the thing too. Like, I consider like what some people would call like new wave or alternative. Some things like Devo or Talking Heads, I consider those things punk. Because they're weird. They're kind of weird.
Definitely weird.
Like, I love Devo and Talking Heads. Those are like both of those are in my top 10s,
Whip it good.
We are not men. We are Devo.
Yeah. Same as it ever was.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Burning down the house. Anyway, Christy, thank you for coming on.
It was a pleasure. I had so much fun.
Yeah. Well, I hope so. Maybe you'll consider coming back and maybe having, when I'm in March, when I'm trying to push my book a little bit and get a little exposure, you'll have me on.
Hello, Rex. We already,
yeah, the 13th. Yeah, I got you.
I'm like, don't forget, dude.
I won't.
Don't let me forget, Christy. Don't let me forget.
That we're gonna have him on Coffee Shop.
That's right. You were one of the ones that got back with me. Now, Doc, I'm like, please, could you have me on? Yes. Can we get a date?
I said whenever.
Okay, whenever. Yeah, he's good.
Because here's what I don't do. I don't book a lot of guests because our better shows are when we're not shilling something. I don't
Yeah.
mind having guests on just to talk to them. My approach to having creators on, and those of you in the chat that are listening, if you are a creator, I want to get to know you and tell us about your passion, tell us about who you are, what's your history, what's your background. I'm not real big on, oh, back this book. We'll do that.
Mm-hmm.
But we just enjoy having a good conversation because the coffee shop is all about friends having coffee together and just talking shit. It's what it is.
You shouldn't have to, in any kind of stream, you shouldn't have to drop your link the entire time.
Right.
Okay, good. I am inked. It's not a pencil. Thank you, sir.
That's
Now
right.
wait,
Yeah,
is that when you're coming on the coffee shop?
No, that was my
Huh?
show.
Oh, well, when are you
Yeah,
coming on?
I
my
will
show,
be on
Rex?
with her on the 13th of March.
When are you
Hey,
coming
why
on
don't
my
we just
show?
book right now why don't you come on Coffee Shop on the 12th? You
I
can
think
go
that's
on.
what we have. I think that's when he's scheduled to be on the show, is the 12th.
Who? Me?
Yes,
Me?
Rex, you.
Who? Me?
You.
Oh,
She's always on my show, Rex. But you wouldn't know that
news
because
to
you don't
me, so I'm
watch.
going to be on the coffee shop with you the 12th of March. Is that right?
Yeah. We'll
Okay.
see you at 1 p.m. Eastern. Yeah, Doc, is he frozen or just really still?
No, I'm stunned. You've stymied me with your genius. I'm like just trying to get this straight.
That's noon your time, Rex.
Noon my time. Okay. So that would be the 13th?
Yeah.
The day before you're on Christie's show, that
Noon.
Wednesday at noon your time. This is how you have to talk to Rex.
Wait a minute. I'm getting confused. Okay. We got two dates here.
Yes.
Doc, I'm going to be on with you the 12th, correct? What time?
The Wednesday before you go on Christie's show, whatever date that is.
That's the 12th.
Then that's when it is.
Okay. And that's my time, 12 noon?
Yes.
Okay.
And be sure you don't eat anything after midnight and wear clean underwear.
Yeah, sometimes I do broadcast in my underwear, but I've got it on now. Well, always. But anyway, I've not done it naked yet, but pretty close. Anyway, so on the 13th, Christy, what time
My
will
show?
I be? Your show, yeah. What time do I need to be there?
My show will be, so you're Central, that would be 8 o'clock.
Yeah. 8 o'clock. 8 p.m.
Yeah,
Jesus Christ.
I don't know. PM or AM.
One thing that's cool about how I do my show is I do send reminders and everything. So,
okay. So is it AM or PM?
That is a PM.
PM. Okay. Look, leave me alone, Doc. I'm just trying to get it penciled in. I was challenged as a kid. I had to.
What do you mean as a kid?
It's my internet. What the
you
hell?
You act like an idiot.
It's my internet.
I am going to steal that excuse now.
Yeah, I'll bring my own coffee. You don't have to worry.
Rex's choppy ass theater.
Write it down. Yeah, I got it written down. Oh, Rex, I'm just precious. That's why I love me around here.
Doc, I have somebody for you. Hold on.
All right, here we go.
Where's my pig? Where's my pig?
Your pig. Oh, right here.
Remember when Sonny used to visit the coffee shop?
Yes.
Here he is. It's my fat orange cat.
Oh,
I think.
Garfield.
Does he eat lasagna?
He would. In fact, at the smoke shop today, they had these dog treats and had my little dog who has no teeth come in with me. And so they gave me this treat, but it was too hard for him. And I put it in my back pocket and I came home. Sonny, who's a big, fat, annoying cat, but I love him so much. He was like begging for food. So I took the dog treat out to see what he'd do. The cat started eating this hard ass dog treat and loves it. And I'm like, okay. Lesson.
All right, Rex, I've got to go. So thanks for having me out.
Is the studio cold, Doc? I got to know.
No, it was almost 70 degrees here today. It's beautiful.
Ooh, okay.
My fan is dead. My air conditioner won't turn off the switch just said "fuck
It's
off,"
my
and
internet.
it won't turn off, and I blame it all on my internet.
Yeah.
But anyway, I gotta go. Christy, always a joy to see you, my friend.
Same to you, friend.
And
I'm gonna have to like hang out with you in one of these backstages one day, because pretty much the only time we ever talk, we're live. So
yeah, let's. I'll send you the link. I'll add you to the. It's Doc's Backstage Lounge on Twitter.
okay,
I think Rex is in there. I'll add you to the group.
cool.
I think I am. I just never quite.
I say that,
participate.
Christy, I'll have someone add you because I don't know how.
It's not that hard.
And they call me technical challenge, which I am.
I am technically challenged. No
Yeah.
shame in my game. All right, I
Yeah,
gotta go.
and you're like me. You don't want to mess with it. You'd rather hire it done. I'm the same way, Doc. I ain't got time to, actually learn something.
And you guys come over to the Doc Blaylock's channel this Wednesday to see
Listen
us
to
hanging
this
out in
woman.
a different format.
Absolutely.
Drinking coffee.
Doc's Coffee Shop, 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
Mhm.
The very best coffee podcast on social media. It's the podcast that won't rust, bust, collect dust, kink, stink, turn pink, or rattle at the seams of rainy season for 90 days or your money gladly refunded.
Take my
We ain't
money.
If we ain't got it, we'll get it. When we get it, we'll funk it, ram it, jam it, damn it, back it up, and take it out to your car. Bye.
I am
One of the
I am
greatest-
impressed.
Wow, I am too. He really polished that thing up. Whoa, am I too close?
Yeah, I don't like that view.
In personal space. There we go. Woo. Equal distancing. What a
Yes.
scam. What's going to come out of this? All this fallout? Is Fauci going to? I know he got a pardon, and some of these other people are they? Is it still? I mean, are they? Are we going to? Should we hope for the best that some of these people are
So-
actually going to be held accountable for their actions
Dude,
and misactions?
well, so yeah, that's the thing. Like about the pardons, I'm like, is that even legal? Could that even stand up? How can somebody be pre-pardoned if they
Yeah.
haven't been accused or convicted of a crime? So my
Yeah.
hope is that we do get justice for Fauci.
Yeah.
100%. Like
Well, that was
Ugh.
really a red light, right? I mean, that's pointing the finger. Yeah. He
Seems
would
that way.
probably, they would probably call it projecting on the right, that we know that they vehemently disagree, and we're not pointing a finger and saying they did anything actually wrong, but we want to make sure they're kind of protected from the radical right coming after them.
I could see, yeah. I mean, is that what the excuse has been? I tune out a lot of the static.
Oh, yeah.
So, but
You got to.
that makes sense that would be the excuse given to not
that's the only
make
thing
to
I
not
can come
make
up
anything
with.
trigger in a leftist head. Like, that's weird.
The only thing I can think of, Christy,
Yeah.
of why it would have been done in the first place. His
Right.
son, okay, I see that, but I mean, this just smacks of cover up,
Yeah, or doing their best to not have to face consequences and face justice.
Yeah.
Nobody's above the law except for, this long laundry list of people on the left. I like I said it earlier, like I really want to see justice, and I like to the point of executions. Like these people
Yeah.
need to swing for what they did.
Yeah.
So we'll see what
I would-
happens.
I wouldn't, of course, in this day of lawsuits, my child watched that. Well, you need to monitor what your children watch on TV, and back in the day in the Old West, hey, public hangings, the kids were right there. Of course, they were taught to shoot firearms and fend for themselves and, eat squirrel. And, I mean, we used to have a pioneering, adventuresome, I think one thing, the leader, because it all flows from the head down, right, needs to set the agenda. And I think we've got a clear-cut agenda, but I'm not sure exactly what it is. I know it is to ferret some of this out, but I hope we don't just have 4 years of that. And I don't think we will. I think there'll be progressive moves in what do you see as the administration's agenda? Because I think we've had a regime and we've come out of a regime. I will tell you what to do and what to think, to an actual legitimate administration here. Now, I know I'll get some blowback on that, but You know, what do you think their agenda is for the next 4 years? How do you
It
see it?
it's so hard for me to say. You know,
Yeah.
I'm shocked at the whole Doge thing and them going so quickly on it. And if
hmm
they keep this momentum going, like who the
Is
hell
it because
knows?
they just didn't thought they would get that they would look into that, or that they would, I
Well,
mean, cover their
something
tracks? They've never covered their tracks. I think I think we saw during the last 4 years they didn't care if you what you thought, and they were very open about what they were doing, which was criminal.
right. I think one of my top things that I'd love to see, and I'm not like sniffing the hopium too much that this is going to happen, but I'd
hmm
love to see 9/11 investigation reopened and have a real investigation, because that was the false flag to beat all false flags. It's also like what kind of red pilled me to like, holy shit, our government is fucking evil,
Yeah,
you
well,
know?
really, that was our in a way, and it's a bad example, but I mean, in a way, that was our Pearl Harbor, our
Yes.
generation's Pearl Harbor. Yeah,
Yes, absolutely. So, if I were to hope and get a wish granted from this administration, that's what I'd like to see happen. Because that would just, I think, shock, wake a ton of American citizens to where they start really, really paying attention to what, we've been living under. But I like
mhm,
what's happening with Doge, and showing the financial corruption, with what's being done with our tax dollars and everything like that. So I'm satisfied for the moment. As far as what's going to happen, I don't know. I've been let down so many times that I'm like, you know, we'll just see what happens. I'm not going to get my hopes up for anything in particular, but if there was a magic wand to be waved, it would probably be the nine
yeah.
eleven thing, because um,
Well, what I mean,
it's
they
garbage.
say, "Whoa, you're way over the top with this patriotism type so far." Do you and Scott? Yeah, well, just I'll just ask you
So
because he's not. Do you find yourself patriotic?
I have been patriotic since I was born. I was born on the bicentennial. So
Oh,
I,
76. Wow. Yeah,
yep,
I was
I'm,
there. Yeah, I
like I
remember.
said, you're old. No. But
And you're young.
I remember when I was really, really young on a 4th of July, I was just like bursting with joy, like to be an American. Like it was the first time I actually had that emotion of like patriotism and like being really, really grateful for the country I was born into,
Yeah, yeah,
and kind of starting to realize like we're free, even though I didn't know world politics or anything like that. I think probably at that time I just thought the whole world like lived like Americans. And I turned to my dad, and I were watching the fireworks, and I'm like, I love America. And he's like, you are you are patriotic. And that's when I learned the word patriotic. I'm like, does that mean I love America? And he's like, yes, it does. And like ever since then, like I just fucking love this country. I hate the government in this country. And that's also why I love this country, is because we can say so. And it's
yeah.
actually our duty
But now,
as
do you
patriotic
hate
Americans
what
to
the
say so.
founding fathers set up, or is it just what
Oh
it's
no, no, no,
become?
no. I'm pretty damn cool with our system, like
Mm-hmm.
the way
Okay.
it's supposed to function. And if you go and find me on Twitter, you will see that in my profile it says I'm a radical constitutionalist. Like,
Mm-hmm.
let's follow the Constitution. It's
Yeah.
And I don't believe the Constitution lays out what our rights are. It just expresses what every human being on this planet, what their God-given rights are. I don't think it's exclusive to the United States. Those are God-given rights. It's just telling you, listen, you have the right to like speak your mind. You have the right to protect yourself, your property, and your family, you know.
What do you mean? I know where it's salty and sweet means, because you say
Ugh.
you're radical constitutionalist, but you also say politics is downstream from culture. What do you mean by that?
So that's a quote from the great late Breitbart.
Mhm.
And he said it, and I absolutely agree. So you cannot vote your way out of a shitty culture. You can't vote your way out of it. And the
Mhm.
politicians, your elected officials aren't going to make culture for you. That's us as citizens, what we need to do. We need to be making the culture, so
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
then politics is then affected by the culture that we as the people have influenced with
I
our
guess
art.
your state rights trump federal rights type person. That the states should have more
Oh, yeah, yeah,
to
like
say about what happens in their own communities and in their own
yes,
state.
I mean, that makes sense, doesn't
Yeah,
it?
it does.
I
Yeah,
mean, we shouldn't be ruled from afar, as local as you can get it. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the way to
yeah.
do it, in my
And really,
opinion.
local elections are the ones that impact you the most, and so that's why it's beholden to every. I mean, we used to have civil defense. In case of emergency, we used to have a plan for this country, and I don't think we've seen that for a very long time. A cohesive plan that we can all a vision that we can kind of get around. Do you see that happening anytime in the future for the country? That we have a common vision, or do you think it's so divided and will remain divided and it's going to get worse, better, whatever, go through ups and
You know
downs?
what? I think we're on the right track to start coming back together. I think on both
Mhm.
the left and right extremes, there's so much at least at this point, there's so much like there is no forgive and forget, because the
Mhm.
people felt like they were so harmed for whatever reason. Like for example, somebody on the right might be like, I can never forgive you um
Imprisoning my
thinking
mother
for
for
imprisoning my mother, for
yeah,
making it
taking
so
away
I
my
lost
business.
I lost my job because I wouldn't get vaccinated.
Mhm.
Um,
Yeah.
Stuff like that. I don't know
The
what the
people
left
that
would
would
have on the
not
right.
in the military, they're going retroactively going to get paid for that time and
Yes.
reinstated. God bless America for that alone.
Oh, hells yes. And good for those patriots and those people that, I mean, what a scary time and choice that they had to make for themselves and their family, to put so many years into
Yeah.
military
They
service
should
just
have
to get the
never been
middle
put in there.
finger and fired,
Yeah.
without because wasn't that the thing? I don't know. I don't know exactly what happened with the military. I mean, were they like just regular general discharge with no benefits? I don't know what the thing was
Yeah,
that happened to
I
them.
mean, lost time, whatever. I mean, maybe they gave them, say they signed up for 4 years and they weren't able to serve 3 of those. They would get back pay for all that time as if they served. And I don't know if they'd had to re up for another 4 or what, if they want to, but certainly it's untenable what's happened. I'm one of these that believe that, and I hate that with elections, that a lot of times the military mail and stuff arrives late. That was back in around 2000. The hanging chads and all that. They were like, yeah, the military vote off these ships may not arrive in time to be counted. And it's like, if the military vote is not counted and they're putting their lives on to protect me, then aka public that's not military, although I have a lot of military in my background, uh, but I've never been in the military. Uh, I shouldn't even have the right to vote if the military doesn't have the right to vote, because they're the ones making it possible for me to vote. They're
Right.
protecting my life, you know,
Yep.
with what
Yep.
they're doing.
Yeah. Anyway, but yeah, Vulcan Live said, so many small businesses were destroyed. I mean, look
Yeah,
what they
and
did
they're
to the
not
mom and
coming
pop
back.
restaurants. Right.
They're not coming back. I think this was a thing to monetize them into bigger conglomerates and have bigger monopolies. We're
Yep.
seeing that with Tyson and all the chicken and the meat producers and 85% of our beef is not American that we're eating. It's exported.
That's
The
so
rest are
crazy.
these other beef farmers trying to make a living.
Yep.
That
It's
needs
so
to change.
crazy. I mean, because everywhere you go, you see freaking cattle in the United States. It's like, why aren't we eating that?
Exactly. Exactly. Why are we exporting a lot of this stuff?
I don't
Rice,
know.
I get it. We're a rice state here in Arkansas. We send a lot to the Orient. they eat a lot of rice, absolutely, and soybeans, you know. Uh, but yeah, hopefully I feel like we're in a pro-American. Let's bring back the Detroit cars and whatnot, manufacturing and stuff, I don't
Yep.
know. Maybe Elon can help with that. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll just see what happens. Something that shocked me is I made friends with a independent game tabletop game guy,
Hmm.
and I didn't know this, but because I asked him, I'm like, "Do you print in the United States?" He's like, "I can't print in the United States." And I said, "Why can't you print in the United States?" And he said, "Because there's absolutely no company in the United States that can
Yeah.
print the things that I need for my board
Right.
game." And
Yeah.
that shocked me. I'm like, "Nowhere? Nowhere? Really?" Anyway,
Yeah.
so
Well, I mean, it could be. I mean, a lot of things have been lost. I mean, I remember Filmation Animation went out in the late 80s, I think 89. And they were the last in-house, kind of like Hanna-Barbera and stuff. It just got cheaper to export it to Korea, China, and other places, whatever, Japan, and that's sad that we cannot build in America, and even have the skill set to do it. I think it's going to be decades long. Look, the progressive agenda and the communist agenda has been decades in the works, a good century in the
well,
works. We're not
yeah,
going to
right?
turn this over in our lifetimes. We're
Oh,
not.
yeah. Yeah, you're absolutely right. But all we can do is start raising
Chip
our
away.
generations correctly to kind of have that
Hmm.
vision of,
Hmm.
reestablishing the United States as the innovators and inventors and
Yeah.
kings of industry and all
I'm
that kind of
hoping
stuff.
that's what we're coming into, Christy, because when I look at the 21st century, I feel froze just like that. Just,
Yeah.
I mean, we have made mistake after mistake, starting with the election in 2000. So far, I hope historians look back, not revisionist historians, but truly people trying to ferret out what were those times like.
And why
Rioting and
did it
it was
happen?
batshit crazy. Why the
You know,
fuck did they do that?
it's almost like it was a plan to turn
Almost a plan.
the American population into mindless,
Yeah,
fat, lazy
yeah,
consumers, and
yeah.
that's it.
Of toxic junk,
Yeah.
uh, Salient Green is people. Uh, maybe you're
I
too
really
young to.
hope we're not eating people.
Well, actually, there is some human DNA been found in some of the whatever.
I
Anyway,
know.
10-4 hat. Thank you, Christy. I'll give you a last word. Flip City, tell us about it.
Oh yeah.
Do it.
So anybody and everybody out there that isn't down with communism, you probably will like Flip City Magazine. Go check it out at flipcitymag.com. You can read a free sample there directly on our website. But I would highly encourage you, once you're done with that, to go for our super sampler. And all you need to do to receive that is give us your email so I can shittily market to you. And by shittily market, it means I don't spam you. I don't over email. We literally email you when we've got good deals going on or something cool release, like a new animation or a new piece of content on our Substack or a campaign that we're running. So it's all fun stuff when we market to you. So give us your email.
Very cool.
flipcitymag.com.
Christy, I couldn't have had a lovelier time with you. It's, I hope, I can't wait to see you on the 13th at the proper
Yeah.
time.
Well,
Thank you
actually,
for the reminders.
is it the 12th and 13th now? Because I'm on the coffee shop with Doc.
Oh, you're
So
on the coffee shop with Doc as well?
yeah,
Okay. Okay.
yeah, I'm
So is that
the
on your
token
channel
girl.
or his or both?
Yeah,
Simon?
so that is on Doc's channel,
Okay.
and so I'll see you on the morning before you come on my show in the evening, and I'm super excited for that because I have a conspiracy corner. So we might spend a bit of time in conspiracy corner at the end of the show. We're going to have a great
Okay.
time. And right back at you, I had a wonderful time. I knew I would, though.
I don't think that conspiracies are talked about enough, and hopefully, I mean, I know a lot of channels are kind of built around that, but it doesn't seem like they last long. But then maybe I'm watching the wrong channels. Freedom of speech has been clamped down, folks,
Hardcore.
especially on YouTube.
Well, that's the thing that I love about Conspiracy Corner. I feel like they haven't really, and this is me kind of joking around, haven't clamped down on my channel, even though we talk about all kinds of conspiracy, is because I literally wear a tinfoil hat. So I think it does protect us.
Okay. Yeah. So you look like a Hershey's Kiss. Got it.
Yes, I do. Bye, Kate and Orlando. I hope you have a good rest of your evening.
Thank you. Thanks, Steve, your husband, your lovely husband, for your time. Or Scott. Okay, Scott.
I will.
Damn. I need my hat on. Anyway, we're going to get out of here. Keep collecting, keep reading good comics and good magazines like Flip City. A satirical, give the tagline. What is Flip City?
Flip City is America's last laugh. If you don't believe me, check it out at flipcitymag.com. Look at that. It's a guy it's a protester that set himself on fire. How triggering is that to all the right people?
Yeah. Burn this magazine. I like that you're self-deprecating or whatever they call it.
I self-deprecate.
You don't take yourself
day.
too seriously.
Yes.
And I guess that's the big message, right? Let's get back to some normality and don't take ourselves too seriously about some of these things.
Like who doesn't
that are
like
really
a good
beyond our control. It's above our pay grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What, to take things seriously?
No, some of these big problems, we can't solve them.
Oh,
we can
exactly.
chime in, but we can't. I feel like some people are like, I got to do this because I can solve this. Okay.
Well, we aim to solve the cultural problem with our publication, and that's half joking, but really that. Oh, by the way, I needed to tell you this because I do want to spread this kind of around Comicsgate, even though I'm not really, really into comics and everything. Mm-hmm. I love the fucking independent movement. That's what I am about. I do love the art and all that. I just don't know comic history.
What do you love about it, though? You throw that out there, but what do you love the momentum about, with it?
What I like is the coming together of American citizens to have an effect on culture. Like that's what I'm about. And I like meeting people that are like-minded that are in the arts, because the arts are overrun with leftists. Yeah. So it's great to find this. I would have thought that it's a pocket, but it's not. It's fucking like half the arts are conservatives. It's just we've been so smashed down and crushed under the tyranny of the left that it's
why is it in your estimation that the right is easily silenced, that they don't speak out more?
Lack of balls.
I
think
now we're
the right
needs to now we're getting to the core thing right there.
Yep. We need to be louder, and we need to grow a set, and it actually makes me feel sick to my stomach to know that I have bigger balls than a lot of men. I'm like, that's gross. Like, you need to be more masculine than me.
Yeah.
I'm a woman.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying you, Rex. I'm just saying too many men. Like, man up, start being strong so we can take our
that's a problem on TV, right? Fathers, weak suck fathers depicted on, the family unit being shredded. We could talk years and years about this.
I know. We're shutting it down, but we can talk about this more on Coffee Shop and then on my show. So I'm looking forward to that.
Dillard says, wash your balls, Christy. And on that, we will end this show.